Hello. I didn't realise that I can do this. But anyway, because I'm an idiot, all I had to do was turn the wheel on the mouse. But anyway, do you like my background? Cecil, this part of this fucking video, right? It's kind of been stuck in my head all day because I've been doing nothing but thinking about you, Cecil, all day because I've nothing else for doing. When it came to this childhood story or confession video, Cecil had these numbers of excuses and that. And what he brought up here kind of contradicts what he's been saying online without being confronted. So I'm going to go through that and commentate throughout, so we'll see how it goes, kind of thing.
But you made a video,
Yes.
which you claim is edited, allegedly. And in that video, and I'm going to use the word allegedly because I will give you that, allegedly. In that video, which I watched live when the link was sent out by the first person that ever brought it to our attention.
That's one thing that I actually missed. So, RV Charity Drive here. Sorry I didn't introduce, but this is RV Charity Drive. Now, there is parts of this other video which I have sort of left out, but I'll leave a link to the whole video at the end of this, to know where he tells his own story. And you know, Cecil is saying, oh, he never took the piss out of the situation that RV Charity Drive was in, but he did. It's just at the beginning of this stream, Cecil says, you're not allowed to lie, I'm not allowed to lie, blah blah blah, and he just can't help but fucking twist everything.
Davey.
I watched it live. Yeah, and I watched it live, and I watched what you said, and I watched the whole thing. Part of it was boring. The end of it was boring. No offense, because I'm rap is not my thing. I mean, there's some rap I listen to. I like Dax. Dax is all right, but your rap, your rap is, well, your Covington song is actually pretty good, and your Black Lives Matter song is pretty good, and the stuff you did before, when you were with Intense and with other people, that stuff was good. You edited, I don't know who was editing, but whoever edited it was doing a good job. You had good music.
I actually agree with that. There was a couple of things there that actually, some of them were kind of catchy. There was him and Gutter were, in the description of the music video, they were just messing around, but it turned out better than they thought. And that was a song called Losing My Mind. And I thought the editing of the music video was pretty good. In this day and age, it would be considered a wee bit too repetitive, but the shots in it were pretty good. If there was a mix of other shots, it'd be good, because there was a lot of repetitive stuff there. But the song was actually good, and it wasn't actually a rap song. It was classed as a kind of a rap rock song, and I thought it was actually pretty good, you know. So, you know, I agree there, like. But the modern stuff that he had been doing, and this thing, High Street Paranormal TV, Ghost Box Sessions, see, look, that song sometimes sticks in my head, and it's the most annoying song ever. It's really bad. But anyway,
the shit you do now, I don't know if it's deliberately because we're trolling you, so you make these other songs that are just like put it in her butt or whatever the hell it's called. Weird songs that just, to me, don't make sense. Make sense to you probably. They don't make sense to me. It's not my type of music. I don't get it.
Oh, that's an old ass song. That's just being lyrical. That's just.
with Cecil, with the controversy that he got himself into, wouldn't you think he would sort of avoid those kind of situations and those kinds of lyrics? But you know, some of the lyrics I can't even repeat here, so you know, it's kind of weird to me. Not into it. Not very good songs.
Just trying to be lyrical.
Okay. So I mean, some of your music talent's pretty good. I mean, I'm not a singer. I do karaoke with my kid because it's therapy for him for his epilepsy, and it helps him. I sing like shit, so I can't judge somebody's singing. What I judge is somebody's actions. And if it were just that one video, Cecil, you want me to call you Cecil or C-Love? I don't care.
My name
But if it were... What's that?
I go by Cecil.
Cecil. If it were just that one video, it would make sense to me to just be like, he's just, you know, he's just doing a thing, and that's it. And I would have let it go.
I kind of understand that. You know, he says, you know, it was just that one video. But the thing was, he got shit for that video, that live stream, and people started trolling him and calling him all sorts of names and stuff. And then Caesar started making videos that were, you know, supporting what he said in the live stream. Like, what are you going to do when there's two little hot girls that you find you feel as hot at the time? When you're 15, 16, 17 and these are 8 and 10, not good. Private information about his 10-year-old daughter at the time, and you know, other things. 10-year-olds are fully developed and their minds are fully developed too. Do you know these kind of things? And some of these young girls look older than they are, and all this kind of stuff trying to back up this fucking video. And then it all goes to shit. It gets worse. And then he goes, oh well, I'll just blame somebody for editing the video. But the thing is, the damage was done. In order to edit that video, we'd have to edit every other fucking video that he put out, which he deleted to try and cover up his tracks, not realising that some of these people that are now after him had fucking recorded those videos, so he couldn't get rid of them.
But you've made other videos after that.
Exactly.
Some of it due to trolling, some of it just on your own. And if you recall a while back, and even recently when I had discussions with you, I said, sometimes you say things when you shouldn't be saying anything at all, because...
Yeah, I would understand that if it was one slip or whatever, but by making these other videos, he kind of fucked himself, if you know what I mean. But that original video, that original, what we call a confession video, his childhood story kind of thing, there's too many things in it for it to be a mistake or a slip or whatever. There's too many things, you know?
You continue to give ammunition. Like, I've never, you've said, and it's because you've explained that you group us all into one group, you said nobody in my group has ever talked badly about your kid. That's the first thing, because that defeats the purpose of the group.
Exactly. You know? And, you know, I can only speak for myself. I never said that about your daughter. This is about you. It's not about Hetty, it's not about your sister, it's not about your other family members. This is about what you said and the things that you admitted to in multiple videos.
We have talked badly about you, your girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, your sister, and your brother. Based
Why
on
would
the
you talk bad
stories.
about my sister?
What about your wife? When you think he would mention, why would you talk bad about my wife? That's kind of weird. You know, I don't know what to make of that one. Why would you talk bad about my sister? You know, not the first thing, you know, protecting the wife. unless he kind of understands, oh yeah, I understand why you would take the piss out of my wife or attack my wife or whatever. I don't remember ever fucking bringing his wife into it or talking about his wife. This is about him, you know what I mean? But I found that a bit interesting.
Huh?
Why would you talk bad about my sister?
Because I think somebody that makes that accusation and stands by, she stands by that. Let's just be bygones be guys. She's restated or reaffirmed or whatever term you want to use that she stands by what she says.
Did you notice that? He's given himself time to answer this. I think he put himself in a spot there.
At all, because you continue to give ammunition. Like I've never, you've said, and it's because you've explained that you group us all into one group. You said nobody in my group has ever talked badly about your kid. That's the first thing, because that defeats the purpose of the group. We have talked badly about you, your girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, your sister, and your brother. Based on the stories.
Why would you talk bad about my sister?
Huh?
Why would you talk bad about my sister?
Because I think somebody that makes that accusation and stands by, she stands by that. Let's just be bygones be guys. She's restated or reaffirmed or whatever term.
See that? Oh, Cecil. Oh, I'd love to have a body language expert fucking analyse it. But what I think is happening here is, fuck, what are we going to say here? Let me think. Oh, he's got you there, hasn't he? Look at the fucking face.
You want to use that she stands by what she says, and you stand by what you say, which is she basically thinks everybody's a child molester because she hates men. So taking that into account, I have to think to myself, if she thinks everybody's a child molester, why is she sending her kids to your house?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know why Hetty is getting involved in the conversation now, because Hetty wasn't there when Cecil was 15, 16 and 17, so I don't know. But Cecil at one point, and it's on Daisy Benning's channel, where he was live and he decides to catch his sister off guard by ringing her. And he asked, am I a CP? And she says, no, that was something you did, don't be recording me. But you haven't done anything since then. And then then he says, but that doesn't mean I did anything. Well, it does actually, because she says you haven't done anything since then. Cecil tries to twist around this and hope that we kind of miss things and we forget about things, but at this point we analyse every single thing, and then when Cecil doesn't have an answer to us, to certain things, he gets personal and starts attacking us personally. It's dirty time.
Traumatized and fucked up in the head.
Exactly.
So, and
I'm saying?
I'm literally trying to have a real conversation with you because
I
survived. I survived a trauma for 8 years, Cecil. You want to do some actual research? Look up St. Aloysius in Rhode Island. 477 kids from 1950 to 1999 were raped, molested, and some vanished. Nobody knows where the hell they went. We know that when we were trying to tell social workers, in Rhode Island we have something called DCYF. I don't know. They call it something different in Kentucky. Same thing, same concept. But they also have something called CASA, or they started CASA back in the 80s. And that's called a court-appointed special advocate. They're supposed to represent the kids regardless of what the state says and regardless of what the orphanage or group home or foster home or whatever it is you're in. Because I was a child, a baby, 1 year old, 2 years old, when my parents' rights were terminated in Rhode Island. They didn't have group homes or foster homes that took in kids that age in the 70s. And there was a person that wanted to adopt me at that age, but they didn't allow single men or single women to adopt kids because they had this big stagnant on, they thought they might be gay, so they wouldn't let them adopt kids. You gotta remember, it's the 70s. So I was in a group or an orphanage called St. Aloysius, and it was run on levels. It was run by the Catholic Diocese, which is why I hate Catholic Diocese. I don't hate Catholics. I hate the organization of the diocese because it's extremely rich and it doesn't take care of victims. It buries them or moves the predators to other areas to be predators somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, like in Ireland, we've had a number of cases, and you know, young boys' homes and that kind of thing. There's been multiple, you know, cases of it, you know, so I can understand that. Yeah.
Right. They don't
So you
punish.
take all that into account, 8 years of being raped, 8 years of being molested. And I say rape because rape is when you are penetrated by somebody and you are not able to give that consent, whether it's with a finger or a penis or a tool or a device or
just
whatever.
in general, right?
That happened to me in 477 kids. The first time I told somebody, I told my social worker, Patricia Prada. I'm not afraid to throw out names because these people are all responsible. And I said, Father McIntyre took me into the, whatever you call the priest lived on site. They lived in like a little thing off of the church, like sort of like a vestibule, but for a priest to live in. And there were lights and there were these big camera devices. You got to remember cameras back then were like old style, you know, whatevers.
They
And
all look like movie cameras.
yeah, and he did things to me. So she basically took me back to I had ran away. I had got picked up by the state police, and the social worker came and picked me up. I'm telling the social worker the story. And what they did is they took me back to the orphanage, and they put me in a room with the person doing the stuff and said, he's making these accusations. And the priest was like, well, he's an emotionally disturbed, traumatized child, and he'll make up any story. And they're like, that's what we thought. So, all right, here he is. Have a good day.
Yeah. The thing too about, you know, the 1970s, 1980s and that, saying this about a priest would be sort of frowned upon because people like priests, doctors, teachers and that, they were held in high regard. You didn't walk down the street and pass a priest, a nun, a doctor, a teacher without saying hello and addressing them, because they were put on a higher pedestal. And for somebody to say something like that about a priest, they're going to take the side of the priest or whatever, you know, and it's horrible. I noticed too that the priest's name was McIntyre, which sounds like an Irish name to me. But there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on in Ireland too. And it's still being uncovered, it's still being investigated, etc. I know there was a formal apology made, you know, on behalf of the government and that. But a lot of these cases, they drag on and on and on until the perpetrators have passed on, and nothing then can be done about it, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you know, the church has to be responsible for these sort of emotional and psychological injuries that a lot of these people went through, you know.
So then I had 4 more years of that. But before I had the 4 more years of that, I got taken out into a wooded area with a well, abandoned well, and me and 6 other kids that had ran away were basically told that if we ever said anything again, that we would end up in the bottom of that well dead.
Can you imagine doing that to a young child? Making that kind of death threat to a young child? You know, not alone an adult, but a young child that, you know, some are terrified of the dark, you know, they're scared of a lot of things because they haven't experienced a lot. But to go through that in itself is fucking horrible. You know, it just fucking, it maddens me, you know?
So we never said anything again. And I went on through that trauma. And my wife didn't even know about it until, 10 years into our marriage? Maybe 15? 15 years into our marriage. Because for me, sex is excruciatingly painful. It's not a painful experience physically. It's a painful experience mentally. Because every time I have to have relations, I think back to the things that were done to me. So when I hear people say things about kids or with kids, whether they were 16, 17, or 18, it, yes, brings all that memory back, and it turns me into a hateful, mean, spiteful, I want to ruin your life kind of a person.
I want to stop it there. What he just said, Cecil has now turned into a weapon. And he, you know, anytime he mentions, a lot of the time when he mentions RV Charity Drive, he says that this guy hasn't dealt with what he went through, so he has to take it out on me. Cecil pushing the blame onto RV Charity Drive. When RV Charity Drive opened his heart, give him a backstory about him, and created that trust. And I think that's fucking disgusting. I don't know if anybody else has mentioned that, but for RV Charity Drive to tell that story to Cecil, to give that insight, and for Cecil to fucking trample on it, it's one of these other reasons why I have no respect for Cecil whatsoever. You know, and that's one of the many different things. There's a whole web of crap with Cecil in regard to weaponizing people, you know, and to weaponize this man after him opening his heart out and talking to Cecil in this kind of way, I think it's fucking disgusting, and it's dirty tactics. I'm going to move on because I'm getting fucking angry here.
Because I feel like the same thing happened to other people that happened to me. I never got justice. The only justice I got is Father McIntyre died from COVID, because I guess God has a sense of humor.
Hetty's uncle was a priest who got kicked out of the service for that.
His son was also a child molester. Half the staff were child molesters. The diocese, what do they call them, deacons, the guys with the weird hats, the deacons from Providence, were molesting kids. They made camps, and basically they had sex camps, and all the kids that were primed, because some of the priests, like Father McIntyre and Father Porter, they liked them hairless. If that makes sense to you.
Now, there was a sort of, people have been investigating a child trafficking ring down the west and northwest of Ireland, which would, you know, take in sort of my area and that, and a boys' home in Belfast. And the name that came up a number of times is the Lord Henry Mountbatten, who is Prince Charles's uncle in some sort of way. Now, Lord Henry Mountbatten had a holiday home in a place called Mullaghmore, and it's not too far from where I grew up. And one day it came on the news that his fishing boat, Mullaghmore's a kind of a fishing town, his fishing boat blew up just off the harbour. Now, back in that time, there was a conflict in Northern Ireland between British and Irish sort of paramilitaries, kind of like a civil war. They call it the Troubles. And it was believed that it was the Troubles, it was the IRA that blew this boat up. But Henry Mountbatten actually was in favour of a united Ireland, and some believe that the IRA kind of knew that Lord Henry Mountbatten was into some really dodgy shit. Now, there's papers that was bought by some library in the UK and that, and they're called the Henry Mountbatten papers. Now, they were supposed to be made public because it was bought by a library, and etc, etc. But they were actually blocked by the royal family for some reason. So there was this, and people are sort of investigating that there was sort of that kind of stuff going on, you know, along the west of Ireland as well, you know. So yeah, it's really, really disgusting when it involves the abuse of children like this. It's just, I can't. Do you know when you grew up and you know your life was good, you were in a protected home and stuff like that. It was very hard to imagine people having lives like that, if you know what I mean. And when you grow older, you grow an empathy for people that have been had suffered that kind of life, you know.
They make them hairless. They like them hairless. They like them smooth. I don't. There's a term for it out there. I don't know what it is, but they like them before they hit puberty.
Sick.
And some of the adults like the puberty ones. They like them only with puberty. And if you didn't do something for them, they would beat you, and then they wouldn't feed you.
You say it like they're placing an order. That's fucking disgusting, man.
Oh yeah, it's a horrible experience. So if it were just that one video, hypothetically, I probably could have let it go. But the nature of you is that you're a stubborn person, and you don't want to give anything up, whether it's saying, even if you just said, hey, look, I was a fucked up kid and I did shit I'm not proud of, and I'm making up for it, and I'm a better person and I'll say that on your life, I do not think you're molesting children at all right now.
Well,
I don't think you've done it. I don't think you ever have since probably 18 or 19, maybe even 20.
This was a call for some sort of responsibility, and it's the thing that I sort of, you know, this is the thing I fight for here on this channel too. Just some sort of responsibility. It only takes one video, and then it just takes a change of attitude over time, and I'll go away. And I said that a number of times, and I'm not bullshitting and that. If you took responsibility, it only takes one flipping video to get me to go away. I won't go away immediately, but I'll go away. And I've promised that a number of times, and you can keep me to that promise. I can't do anything about the other channel that I'm blocked out of, but any videos on Cecil on this channel here would be wiped over time if I knew that things were going to change and justice. Now, when I say justice, I don't mean sort of Cecil goes to jail, blah blah blah. Justice as in responsibility being taken for the situation, rather than making an excuse and blaming other people,
Didn't do it then either. I didn't do it either. Can you imagine though? You had a fucked up childhood, and I'm sorry those things happened to you. But could you imagine what most boys probably would reply to? The things that I was faced with as a child?
Well, I mean,
yeah,
they say most of us that were molested become molesters, and I definitely don't agree with that.
That's not what happened.
I would say it's probably 20%.
Look,
because there's 80% of us get so pissed off and so mad that we fight tooth and nail to give voices to the people that don't have them.
Do you know what I'm surprised? I'm surprised that Cecil hasn't butted in more to make it about him, because a lot of the time Cecil likes to focus on himself. So I thought, because our RV charity drive has the floor at the moment and he's talking about his story, that Cecil would turn it around and make it about him, and he let him talk for a good period of time, which I'm very surprised.
I didn't become a molester. I wasn't even a molester. That's the thing.
I don't know anymore, Cecil. I don't know anymore what happened.
Listen, I know that I'm not attracted to children. I know that for a fact.
I never said
I
was
put in some bad situations. I know I said some stupid shit on a video a few years ago.
When you say stupid things on a video, nobody makes a mistake of saying the things that Cecil says. It's not just a slip. And it's not one video. See, the thing is, there's more videos. Do you know there's one video there where, their mum didn't care, so I might as well fall for the lust myself. That was a completely different video. But that was the same subject, the same kids. And if it was in that one video, it would be different. But it was a separate video. It was a separate occasion of talking about it and justifying that, which it wasn't really a justification as such. This is why Cecil can't win this argument, because he's a number of videos backing up what he says in the original videos, rather than saying, oh, I fucking slipped up and I fucked up. I don't think he ever fucked up in that video. I did feel he was under pressure and that, and he didn't want to talk about it, but he was forced to kind of do it because Intense was going to out him and that. In that case, if he said nothing and Intense came out with stuff, Cecil would say, I deny I deny everything that this guy has said, whatever. But I think Cecil was afraid of consequences, so he had to talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it. But when he talked about it, he thought that his audience was going to turn around and say, that was a horrible situation that you were in, and yeah, the girls shouldn't have done that, or what he called it, because he did blame the girls. But the thing is, he's 15, 16, 17, and they're 8 and 10. That doesn't fucking wash with us, if you know what I'm saying. But it seemed to make sense to Cecil for some flipping reason. And to fight all of this, he came out with more videos, and then he justified it with, what are you going to do with those 2 little hot girls that you think is hot at the time, and 10-year-olds are fully developed, and some 10-year-olds are look older than they are, and blah blah blah, and all these kind of flipping excuses. So that flipping really, messes up his argument to, one, say that the original video was edited, because Angelo seen the flipping live stream at the time, along with other people, and it doesn't, saying that video was edited. Then he says that they're all edited, but now he's going to come up in this particular video, and this is why I wanted to focus on this video today. He's going to say that we're trying to figure it out. But then after this video, they comes back to saying that we edited the video. So, we're all over the place here. But face to face, Hetty tries to help him out here, and Hetty shouldn't really be putting her feedback into it. But apparently she's been talking to the sister about the situation and that's why she's giving that feedback. But to get out of the situation face to face, he's saying we're still trying to figure it out, and then goes back to we edited the video and he lied 90% of the video, blah blah blah. Just too many contradictions.
I know that. I've held myself accountable to, being dumb and saying that I made mistakes on YouTube and saying things maybe the wrong way. Maybe I don't know how to explain things properly without it sounding weird.
Yes, sometimes Cecil says things that kind of comes out wrong, but I don't believe that that's correct in that particular case with the childhood story video or confession video, as you want to call it. There's no way that you just mix up words and come out with that stuff and go, why the fuck did I say that? But that's what he's implying. It doesn't make sense,
Maybe I'm a victim of that a little bit. I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I didn't graduate. I didn't have parents that cared if I did good in school or not. I ran away most of my childhood.
I think you're smart to an extent on how to trigger people to be pissed off at you. I don't know if you get
maybe
I don't know if you get views out of it or what.
Maybe there's some misunderstanding going on. Maybe there's a lack of knowledge on how to explain things the right way for people to understand it right. Maybe.
No, that doesn't excuse. That doesn't excuse the confession video and the videos following the confession video, which are not on his channel anymore. That is another, that is another indication that he tried to hide everything, But it's out there on the internet, it still exists. Daisy Bennings has it, I think Irish Stevo has it, a number of people have those kinds of videos, which is not one video, it's a number of videos. And when you put them all together, it's a bad situation, and it's not a slip of words. It's not a confusion, it's nothing like that. So the confusion argument, which is another excuse, doesn't wash either. And it contradicts all the other excuses, which, saying that we edited the video and blah blah blah. That does not just, it doesn't wash, And I don't believe that Cecil's telling the truth here either. After he's saying that any of the guests that comes on has to tell the truth, and he has to tell the truth. You know, he can't seem to tell the truth, and he can't tell the truth without outing himself in this situation, and he knows that.
Maybe I don't know how to say things properly sometimes, with the right
Well, I mean,
pronunciations and the right words. But
I
I already said that I was dishonest in some of that. I shouldn't have said I did sexual shit. I shouldn't have said that because there was nothing sexual that happened.
That is not a slip that I would see anybody making, not alone, you know. I don't think Cecil would make that slip. You know? I mean, like, he's saying that that was a slip. Yet another video, which was a different video, heck, their mother didn't care, so I said I might as well fall for the lust myself. You know? It's not one video, you see. That is the fly in the ointment for Cecil. Not the confession video, but everything combined that was backing up that original confession video. You know, he keeps referring to the confession video on its own as a separate entity. But there's a web of videos backing up that video, and then suddenly when things turn to shit, then the excuses started coming out. But the excuses didn't work because there was not one video but many.
I already said and admitted that I lied in some of the video.
What?
No. You see, that is another excuse. You know, he can't make the argument in front of RV Charity Drive that the video was edited. RV Charity Drive already explained that he was there when the video came out. So, to lie, people lie all the time, and Cecil lies all the time. But why would Cecil lie about a situation like that and then make a number of videos backing that up and continuing on that same lie? No. Johnny Logical person, if you're going to lie on a video, you don't admit to doing things like Cecil admitted to doing. There's no way that makes sense at all.
What do you consider sexual? What do you consider sexual?
Well, I considered what the girls were trying to do to me were potentially sexual.
Oh. You see, there's Cecil. Cecil is still holding his ground that Cecil is the victim and the perpetrators are an 8 and a 10-year-old. Is anybody going to flip and agree with that statement that just, you know, agree with that the 8 and 10-year-old are the perpetrators and he's the victim? No. I don't need to explain how that doesn't make sense.
That they were trying to grab my private area. They tried to grab my brothers. It
doesn't matter. One, I don't believe that an 8 and 10-year-old would do such a thing with carnal knowledge. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And if it did happen, you would have to put a stop to it. But Cecil says that he put a stop to it, and he told the parents. But that didn't come out on the original video, or the other videos connected with that one original video. You know, RV Charity Drive's already said it was just a confession video. We may not have to be going on about it, or this conversation would end. The matter would be resolved relatively quickly. But there's videos all over the place that were taking them down in panic, thinking that nobody's going to get them, but it's too late. Because in Cecil's mind, he was justified in making those videos. If he wasn't justified in making those videos, he wouldn't have made so many videos arguing his case and making these children the perpetrators and him the victim.
Okay.
They were suggesting to be nasty and do things promiscuous, things like that. And it was happening a lot when it comes to them trying to do it. And I knew what the right thing to do was. I didn't want to be motivated in any type of way to go along with anything because I was already an abused, sexually confused kid, runaway most of the time, who didn't have a good fucking childhood. You know, it was just
And
a fucked up
that's the other
childhood.
thing I want to touch on. I definitely believe something happened to you
Of
because
course, their
for you
uncle
to
stalked
talk,
me.
yeah,
For
for you to
years.
talk the way you talk and the things you say and how you say them, something definitely happened to you because I have those same, I don't want to say feelings, but I have that same wording in my head. But I think before I speak because in this day and age on social media, everything you say is analyzed.
Yeah.
Okay, and
It's apart.
to give you an example, yesterday you went to the coffee place to get a coffee. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. I recently came up with talking about that, where he went live, right? Now Cecil, I don't think he understands that you can actually pause the live. He went in to get a cup of coffee and he made the coffee, went up to the counter and then discovered, oh shit, I don't have any money, and then made up an excuse really quickly. And the person behind the counter went with it, that he split his coffee earlier on, and if he came back he would get a free cup of coffee, blah blah blah. That didn't happen. Because he was about to pay for the coffee. His intentions were to pay for the coffee. Puts a hand in his pocket. Shit, I don't have any money. Plan B. And he came up with it really, really quickly. Now, it didn't wash with us, but it did wash with the person behind the counter. But he took that video down pretty quickly. You know? But the thing was, it was caught before anything, before he could hide it. And, you know, we're talking about it now, and Angela was talking about it, and, you know, Cecil just wasn't quick enough to fucking delete the video. All he had to do was, guys, I'm going to pause the video for the live for a second. You can pause the live stream. It'll go silent. You still have video or whatever, but I think Cecil's phone was pointing downwards. He could have paused the audio on the live, and then when he was coming out of the shop he could have turned it back on again. We wouldn't have been any the wiser. But he didn't do that, he recorded the whole thing.
Yeah.
You got up to the drive-thru and you told the guy you thought he was black on the speaker.
Oh, different incident. Right.
Figured you guys will make something out of that.
I didn't have to make anything out of it. I wouldn't have anyway.
I knew my trolls were going to try to make something out of that.
But did you do that on purpose, or is that?
Come on, guys.
Did you do it on? Hold on.
Guys,
did you do it on purpose?
Listen.
Did you say it on purpose, knowing that somebody would tag it, or did you?
I authentically thought he was my black friend who usually works in the drive-thru. I thought he was a specific person that I know. This is a white dude right here. Hold on, let me finish, please. I'm a white dude with a Black Lives Matter song. Who grew up in the ghetto. Come on, man.
Let me rephrase it. Let me try it this way.
You can't wing it however you want. I'm not a racist. I'm
I know.
intentionally racist.
I don't think you're a racist. I'm
I
trying
don't
to
even
look at.
talk to my. I don't even
I'm
talk to my
trying.
uncle
I'm trying
because
to
he's
look at.
such a fucking racist.
I'm trying to teach you about terminologies. I think you say what you're thinking before you analyze what you're about to say.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I used to have anger issues, and I would come out with an angry statement that I would then, when I calmed down, I regretted what I've said and end up having to apologise. And other people that had the same sort of issue, I've learned that if you count to 10, even just counting to 10, the result in waiting that 10 seconds is vastly different than having to display that anger at the point the anger took place, if you know what I'm saying.
And in today's society, something like that doesn't. It's not kosher. Does
I
that
think
make sense?
I think people are so fucking sensitive that when they see a white dude say, "You look like," or "You're acting like," or "You reminded me of a black person," or someone that's of color, that people are so quick to think some stupid, ignorant shit in their head that they don't fucking realize that it might have just been harmless.
That could be the case, but Cecil does have a habit of the odd time purposely trying to piss people off by doing something that he knows is going to piss us off, and he feeds the criticism. He feeds the criticizers. He feeds those trolls, and he seems to purposely kind of do it at times by some flipping statements that he comes out with. Do you know?
All right, let's move on to another subject.
Especially people
Because
who know me, know who I really am as when it comes to generalizing other races of people.
I'm gonna say I don't know what happened in your past. I can't confirm what's happened in your past. I can't confirm whether you did or didn't do something. I have you saying one thing, and I have your sister saying another thing, and based on the fact that you guys still have a relationship, I don't know what to think anymore. So let's move away from that and move on to the next
Let's
subject,
not
which is
move away from that. Since you brung it up, let's not move away from that a bit, brother.
I
Let's
don't think
speak
I
on
can.
that a
I
little
don't think.
bit.
I don't think I can change my mind because of the subsequent
I don't
videos you've made
expect you
since
to,
then.
because people allow themselves to have an impression of someone, and they never lose that impression. They never change their mind about
I kind of
someone.
want to lose that impression because,
Well, I would
as I've
like for you
said,
to too. I would like for people to lose that impression of me, but I can't make people
I don't think you're
like
doing
me.
things
I
like
can't
that
make people
currently.
agree with me. I can't make people believe me. I can't make people understand the truth. People are going to believe whatever they want, especially if they don't know me outside of a couple years on YouTube. I get that. Not everybody's going to like me, but what I don't understand is if people don't like someone, why do they obsessively constantly watch them, constantly taunt them, constantly troll them? Let me say this real quick. For the person who showed up bringing up a name in regards to someone I've worked with in the past, the Lori chick, if I catch somebody follow me around, I'm just going to let everyone know right now, I am allowed to defend myself if I feel my life is in danger. So if y'all are following me to places of employment, which I have 2.5 places of employment that are possible full time, I don't recommend contacting nobody, because every place that I work, I tell them what's going on YouTube and what to look out for. So guys, please quit bringing up people's names in the chat saying you know this person, because all you're doing is show me that you're hacking into my phones, my devices, and you're stalking and harassing me, and you're following me to my workplaces, and that within itself in Kentucky is a felony, because I can prove repetitive stalking and harassment. That's a felony.
Oh. Do you know Cecil making their employers aware of what's going on his YouTube channel, if I was one of those bosses, I would be calling him into the office and I would be starting to ask questions because of behaviours. Yeah, I know it's his private life or whatever, but you got this controversy, you got these trolls, you got these angry rants in his kitchen and stuff like that. Now, up until that point that he tells me about his YouTube channel, and he's behaving somewhat okay, and he seems to be a good employee, he's working well, he's comes in on time, and then the YouTube channel comes up. My impressions of him is automatically going to change, and you know, you get some of these videos where he's angrily ranting and stuff like that, and it's the first video I'm watching. I'm going to, what is this all about? So he's standing in his kitchen, he's ranting about his trolls, and the video is edited. I'm going to go, what video are we talking about here? I'm lost, I don't know. What am I going to do? I'm going to start investigating. And then I'm going to get flipping really concerned when I see not only his video, but some of the videos that he had deleted of other people's channels and what other people have to say about him. I'm going to be in a situation, I'm going to be in a very, very difficult situation. I'm going to go, you know, now, did some of these past employers let him go for different reasons, or pretend to let him go for different reasons, and were concerned about other employees? Possibly, I don't know. But I would be concerned for other employees because of his online abuses, the way he abuses other people verbally online. When you're face to face with him like this, he's a lot more calmer. He's still full of shit, he still lies and that, but he's a lot calmer. So yeah, it's not good.
All right, so let's touch on that. I personally have not followed you physically anywhere, not in person. Nor has my brother. Nor has my brother. Not in person. I follow you on social media. Now,
see, so that's the thing here, you know. Yeah, maybe he did have an itchy head, but I think he says, right, this is getting difficult.
Now, a little bit about me. I am a retired military intel analyst.
Hold on one second. Let me say this before you get into that. My sister, I love her to death. She's a compulsive liar when it comes to, she's been raped and molested most of her childhood by almost every man my mom has ever been with. Almost every man. My dad's never done nothing.
Was the same one that did something to you, did something to her too?
Huh? What?
Did the same person that do something to you do something to her? The uncle or whatever his name was?
He likes boys.
You like boys.
One of my mom's ex-boyfriend's brother, who turned out to be a rapist against his own children, he went to prison for it. I'm not going to say his name, because I have respectable family members that are related to him that want to just let it go because there's been justice served there. He literally, my mom found remnants in my older sister's panties when she was literally a toddler. And it started there. And a little girl wound up dead named Jenny Isles right around the corner from where we lived in the 80s when that happened. There's been multiple men my mom's been with that's violated my sister. And I feel bad for her. I cried for her, you know. There's been men who molested me. There's been men who molested my brothers. We just had such a fucked up childhood, and I'm not looking for pity or being looked at as a victim because everything I've been through has made me a better person today.
Oh, that was hard. I can understand that. You know, I can understand that, and part of that would give him an opportunity to take a responsibility and move on because of, you know, there's an excuse there, if you know what I'm saying. But if your sister, right, if your sister is accusing you of doing things like that you didn't do, I would be asking for an apology, a public apology, if my life has been ruined in the way Cecil has been ruined online. Doesn't take an awful lot. It just takes a retraction and an apology, a public retraction and apology from the sister. It's a couple of minutes would put her out of the picture. But that's never happened. And this, we're talking about 10 years or something like that, and that hasn't happened. So I find it weird that Cecil is still in good stand, or his sister's in good standing with Cecil. If nothing happened. It doesn't make, it's not adding up to me, I'm sorry.
You know, made me more protective of my children. Made me more protective of other children that are around me. Because I know where some men's minds go. How sick-minded grown-ass people could be. You know, and nothing I hate worse than a defenseless child who can't defend herself.
And they're all over social media, Cecil.
They're everywhere. They're on maps.
Social media is their new weapon because they can have some semblance of protection, which is why my group exists.
Right.
My group exists so that those people don't have that protection.
That's good. Maybe that's the content you should put out. But if you
see, the thing is, right? All of this is going on for the last flipping 10 years. Cecil has 2 point something thousand subscribers. How many of them are actually predators and were attracted to the content and the messages that Cecil was putting out and the topics he was talking about? See, this is why this has to stop. If you've seen it in the past. Cecil has said some really fucked up shit, and people in the comments backed him up, went against us, backed him 100%. I don't understand it, but that's what, you know, on social media, on the internet, there is some really, really fucked up people. And when you put out a message like 10-year-olds are fully developed and what are you going to do when there's two little hot girls, that's going to attract a certain type of audience that you don't want to attract, if you know what I'm saying.
If you don't have definitive proof that someone's a child molester, I wouldn't recommend obsessing. I mean, come on, guys, life is too short.
But you admitted to doing the things. That's the problem here. As it says, not one video, but a number of different videos, and then made every excuse, and actually threw us under the bus, threw the viewers under the bus, saying that somebody edited all of those videos. And then, maybe that doesn't work, but maybe I'll keep that excuse for later, right? I lied through 90% of that video, which is said in a video. So if you lied 90% of the video, why would we edit it? It doesn't make any sense. And then if the incident did happen, he says, I don't know what really happened. I could have been sleepwalking. I have this sleepwalking thing, or I was this sleep deprivation condition or whatever. Oh, a lot of these different things. And as I said before, when you have a number of excuses for one incident, and there's something fucking wrong there, like.
Yeah, I've been through some crazy shit that is questionable to you guys or whatever. Yes, I've said some stupid shit that a lot of it ain't even fucking accurate or true. I said
So then how-
No. Why would you lie? Why would you come on a public platform and admit to doing these things to those children? Why would you lie? But what would be the motive for doing such a thing? You know, usually I'm taking the piss and goofing on the guy, but I'm trying to be serious tonight for some fucking reason. I really shouldn't be, but this particular video makes me want to do that. But why would you lie about such thing? Cecil lies about a lot of things, but to lie about this and put it on a public platform doesn't really hold water to me. Nobody in their right mind would do such a thing. Sorry.
how do we get past that then? How do we move on from that then? How do we?
Well, I'm here to let you know, brother,
without me, because I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what kind of content you need to make, because that's I'm not a content creator. What I'm going to say is this. A while back, you had made reference to something about Magnitude's kid.
Yeah.
Mostly, I think you did it out of anger.
Of course.
And
retaliation. Now.
Yeah, and I would say Cecil calling me a fat sloppy B-word, which was it's a lot less problematic than what he done to the Magnitude family. And I believe the reason why he called me a fat sloppy B-word is because he's attacking me back. But, you know, in normal society, you don't. It's a dirty tactic, but we know this is a tactic with Cecil. Cecil attacks back dirty. He's called me a cheese pizza. Does he believe that I'm a cheese pizza? That I'm guilty of horrible crimes, or all the other people, every one of them that he doesn't know names for or doesn't know where they're from. You know, anybody outside the United States is from London, France. But he's accused everybody of being cheese pizzas. Does he believe that? No, he doesn't. That is just a dirty attack mechanism that Cecil has, because he actually doesn't have anything to back up what he is saying, that videos are edited and he didn't do the things he did. He just, for the last 10 years, he hasn't got anything like that. So in order to, he doesn't have that. The best attack Cecil could have is to put a defence forward that would leave, that would answer all the questions. That would leave us, right, it's over. Game over, it's done. But he hasn't got that, so he has to attack viciously in the most horrible way possible. But does he believe what he's saying? I don't think so. It's just an attack.
I would appreciate.
Michael Dunn said that, oh, I got some insight on Magnitude. Oh,
I trust Michael Dunn about as far as I can spit.
I apologized about that.
Michael Dunn has apologised to me. I don't know what Michael Dunn had done to me. Maybe in comments he may have attacked me. He has also made an apologies to Order of Magnitude and his wife and stuff like that. And I actually spoke to him on a live stream, and I spoke to him before, and he's very remorseful. A friend of his brought attention to what Cecil actually is doing on the YouTube. He wasn't fully aware of what the whole situation was, and just blindly was following Cecil and stuff like that. But when he was made aware, he was very, very remorseful, and he was very messed up about it for a while afterward. I hope he's doing well and that. But he did. He made an apology on the live stream. He was very remorseful for what had gone on and what he had supported. So, you know, when you start supporting a person like Cecil and then you realise that, shit, I shouldn't be supporting this guy for what he's saying, you end up with people that are hurting.
Trust Michael Dunn about as far as I can spit. Okay?
Yeah,
the facts are this though. None of us ever wrote a story. I didn't even know he was from another country until I heard him speak. So none of us have ever written anything about him being a chomo or anything like that, because he never presented any kind of evidence whatsoever other than supporting you that I cared about. And my goal was to make sure that your support level was limited based on what I perceived you to be, which at that time is a threat,
bro,
to social media. I got to be honest with you if we're going to have an honest conversation. That's where I was at. As I start to watch more of what you're doing.
I've never had a support system. Queen Tasty has always been the main person.
You had a support system with your previous channel, which you think I hacked because I told you I hacked it, which
almost
I didn't.
Almost everybody was trolling me. Almost everybody.
But the thing was, Cecil was actually going into other people's communities and attacking the women there. I've seen other videos where people have had problems, people like Rebel, that eventually had to ban Cecil from their community. Was it Justice for Kanika or J for K or whatever? You know, I don't go along with the conspiracy theories along there. But Cecil was going into these other communities and attacking people and losing his rag in the comment section and attacking other viewers on the live streams and stuff. And a lot of these people had to put a stop to it. He was starting to cause problems in the community, and he ended up getting blocked. And he was red flagged as a problem, let's just say, for the behaviours in the comment section, just like the way he attacks trolls when he's doing his kitchen rants. And you know, when it came to women, it was extra. He was extra vulgar with these people. You know.
And talking about the hacking thing, I tell you things to make you think things, just like. And it's based on observing you, because, again, I was an intel analyst. My job with the military was to monitor social media, all of the platforms. Groups of us did it. We monitored mosques, we monitored churches, we monitored organizations, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, YouNow, Stream Me, Stream You, Twitch. We monitored all that for all sorts of... If you think people are following you, the government's been following you for years before you think. Not you specifically, Cecil, but you in general, the YouTube world.
I really think people need to find better else things to do with their time. I really do. More positive.
And our job was to observe. So whenever you streamed, and it takes me back to my comment when I say you talk too much and you give too much away, and you walk around too much and give too much away. All the information I've ever gotten from you have been from your videos.
Exactly. Cecil has accused us of doxing him, when Cecil himself doxes himself. Now, when you're a YouTuber and you're filming in that, the one thing that a lot of people are aware of now is when you're walking out of your house, you don't film outside your house. Because what happens is you can actually take a snapshot of outside your house and put it into some sort of program, a Google photo search, and you can find out the address that way. It's easy enough. But with Cecil, it was a lot more simpler because Cecil isn't very careful when it comes to putting out information. Filming inside the house with a piece of paper with your phone number on it or an envelope with your address on it. It was actually an envelope with his address on it, with a partial address on it, that made me find Cecil in less than, was it 30 seconds, less than a minute. His address, postcode, whatever, was partially on an envelope and that. Then he goes, he blames everybody else for doxing him. Any of the information we got from Cecil, and it's not that hard to get. But one of the things you don't do is go outside your house and film outside your house. I done a video one day with my window behind here open, and some kid, this is on my other channel, some kid says, "Oh, I know you live blah blah blah, the address. Oh, I live just down the street from you." You know, and he says, "I see out the window that that's where you are now." And I had to remove that comment very, very quickly. It wasn't that the guy was doxing me, but he sort of got excited. "Oh, you just live down the road to me. I can see out the window that you're on this street, just from looking out the fucking window behind me, like." You know? So you have to be careful, but Cecil doesn't be careful. Not only that, he shows live feeds from these security cameras that are around his house, that are pointing in weird directions across at other people's houses and stuff like that. He doesn't help himself, and then when he makes those mistakes, somebody else has to be the blame for that, and we're the doxers. No, we're not. We wouldn't have known anything about Queen Tasty's Facebook or her real name only for Cecil doxed her as well. Brought up her flipping Facebook on a live stream, and I says, "Oh my God!" I mean, and then the person, I could mention her name right now because, you know, I was looking at another video earlier on today where Queen Tasty has another account with her real name on it, or another YouTube account with her real name. But I'm not going to put out her real name now. But it's public knowledge because she put it out there. But Cecil doxed her fucking Facebook when everybody else knew her as Queen Tasty. You know? And then Queen Tasty doesn't seem to have a problem with it for some reason. And then Cecil accuses us of doxing her as well. Didn't happen. Cecil done it all.
Not from talking to your sister, who I've never talked to. Somebody has, not me. I did talk to that kid that you hung out with before.
Logan.
The kid that you did the rap with.
The boy?
Yeah, the boy. What the hell is his name?
Logan.
Logan. I have talked to Logan.
That boy lied on me. I never snorted anything around no child, bro.
That
goes against my moral compass. But
I don't even care if you do drugs, because that's only hurting yourself. I mean, that's for any drug user.
Around them. I care if the kid says I did something around them that wasn't true.
Okay, let's move on. You've made subsequent videos. So, for instance, the kid that you had on your stream. I can almost guarantee the parents did not know that you had that kid on that panel.
I said the
Or
same
you,
thing.
Panel.
Oh dear, Cecil. Now, for anybody that's not aware, Cecil got fed up with the trolls, and what he said was his daughter had a great idea of coming on a live or a video with Cecil and standing up for Cecil. But see, the thing is, Cecil always makes a fucking slip up. What he said was, Xandra finally agreed to come on video with me. That doesn't fucking correspond with her idea. It was her idea, apparently. But that doesn't, what he said, Xandra eventually finally agreed to come on video with me. That doesn't correspond with what he said after that. Which was that it was flipping Xandra's idea. He asked her, and when she did go on, her friend was on as well, who is a very young girl, 12, 13, whatever. Don't think that the mother was aware that this girl was on camera. Standing up for Cecil for the allegations against him, which is having doing things to an 8 and 10-year-old. It's not appropriate. If I was a parent, I wouldn't be happy about it. And now Hetty's actually backed up RV in this particular case, because I can hear talking.
Yeah, Serenity.
When you do a stream, it's called it's called like you. If you want to put your, if you want to put your,
social media.
Okay, so she is. Whatever. If you want to put your kid, you as a parent have the right to put your kid. If you want, I would highly recommend you not.
Everybody, look. I know a little girl who is fucking 7 years old who's been on YouTube with her dad for fucking years. Since he was in diapers, and but hear me out.
With her dad,
people are so sensitive about kids being on YouTube because they're so caught up in that negativity and that drama. This girl shoots guns, and then her dad shoots.
I know who you're talking about.
So do I. The thing is, that girl enjoys doing that. The thing is, Cecil has mentioned a number of times that what Cecil that she doesn't like is when Cecil creeps up to her with the camera on and she's not aware that she's being filmed. And she strongly objects, and Cecil already fucking told us that she strongly objects to being filmed without her permission. That's what she said. And when he was called out on it, he says, "My daughter, get over it." Do you know? A bit of fucking privacy, walking into her room while she's on the computer or playing a song or whatever. It's not on. Do you know? It's not a way teenagers want their own privacy and stuff. The last thing they want is one of their parents walking into the room with a camera in their hand while they're live streaming. You know? That's the issue we got there, like. And as well as that, these flipping going live with security cameras and putting the security cameras on live feed, filming Sandra and her friend. There's already been problems there. We've already gone through those. And if you're new to this, go back a while. It's Random News has covered it in on a couple of videos and stuff like that.
I know who you're talking about. She has a huge following, and that's all well and good. But that's her parents' decision.
That's the
that kid shoots guns that are bigger than herself. It's flipping amazing. It's crazy, man.
The first thing I said when you had Xander's friend on there, I said, you can't do that when you don't have the child's permission.
You've got to
The
talk to the
child gave
parent.
me permission. You said,
Oh, Cecil's not happy. Oh, Cecil's in the 2-to-1 situation. He's now going to probably accuse them of fucking bullying him because he's backed in a corner. Because his partner is agreeing with RV Charity Drive.
without
The
permission.
parents.
Okay,
the
but
parents of the
when
child.
everybody's
Come
beating
on,
around
they're a
though,
minor.
when everybody is beating around though, is the fact that some girls that I'm around every day wanted to defend me.
I know that.
No. You convinced your daughter to come on camera. You had to twist her arm. You quite. Like I explained, he made that big slip. His daughter went, oh, like that there. Why the fuck did you say that? Oh, they might notice. Oh, finally my daughter agreed to come on camera. Oh. But he thought we mightn't pick up on that, but we did. You know? He had to twist her arm. I don't know why the friend was involved in that at all. And if I was that kid's parents, I would not be happy. Especially the subject matter that Cecil talks about.
And did defend me with full honesty from their hearts.
None of those kids, let me be honest, none of those kids
what?
should know any of that.
Exactly. And the thing is too, Cecil, when you have to resort to getting kids to stand up for your fucking crap, that's fucking... in normal society, that's a no-go. Don't have kids fighting your battles for you. You fucking dug the hole, you fill it in. Don't have other people, especially your kids, trying to wipe up your shit. Wipe up your own shit. Deal with your own fucking things. And stop fucking live streaming right beside the bedroom that she's in, and she can hear everything you're saying when you're talking about sexual matters. And one of the fucking live streams that really fucked me off, he was talking about these matters in the car with his daughter in the passenger seat beside him. I mean, like, oh God, the things that Cecil does and then tries to justify is unflippin' believable when normal society, people in normal society and a normal way of thinking would protect their child from those kind of things. It's not protecting your daughter. And she shouldn't know anything about it. I agree with flipping Angelo here. Your kid should not know anything about it. They've got their own stresses of growing up, trying to figure out what they want to do when they're older, what kind of an identity they want to be, what kind of life that they want to live, etc., etc. The last thing your daughter needs is to put up with the shit that you make for yourself, Cecil. With your lies and your fucking blaming other people and not taking responsibility. Take responsibility for your own shit, for your daughter's sake, and your wife's sake, and your whole family's sake, for God's sake.
None of those kids should know any of that.
But of course they do. Xandra talks to them. You don't think she doesn't talk to her friends about what's going on in her life?
Well, I mean,
My
she may
daughter
be.
has been trolled by social services because of you guys.
She's
been
trolled by
asked questions.
trolls. She's been
Pulled out of class. I've been fired from my jobs. My daughter has went without food once, because I got unemployed once that I never spoke about because of you guys. My daughter's being affected. My daughter's YouTube channel initially got trolled and shit that was talked to on that fucking
not by the Viper group
in regards to her dad.
But the thing is, that's Cecil's fault. If Cecil wasn't in this situation and this long fucking 10 years old long argument, you know, it's up to Cecil to end the argument. He's fucking prolonged it, he's brought his daughter into it, and now he wants to blame you guys and me. No. No. Take responsibility, Cecil, for your own daughter's sake. Take responsibility, move on with your life, and we'll fucking leave you alone. But I don't see that anything like that happening, so don't even think about getting up on that couch. Don't even think about it. You've got your own bed. Thank you.
Not by the Viper Group.
But in general.
It may have happened in general.
You gotta understand, like when you're getting trolled, trolls are all put under one shrub.
Yes, they are, especially when it's the
we
same
don't know
subject.
there's different groups of trolls. A troll is a troll is a troll.
Right, especially when they're all saying the same
thing.
thing.
But I do have to agree with that, because even I said, take that video down, because you can't put a video of a minor without their parental
I get
consent.
that. I get
and
that.
I know you had no ill intent. There was no, it wasn't like it was a malicious video, and you definitely didn't force the girls to do it. But that's the thing where I have to agree with RB here.
I
you
get
have to
it.
think about
but
those
we did talk to the parent about it. She's fine with it.
I'm glad you talked to the parent, because they do have a right to know, and they probably were fine with it. It's water under the bridge. It's the thinking part. Like, I understand you're trying to defend yourself, and I get it.
But he's not doing it very well. But what Cecil is doing to defend himself is actually passing the blame on to people like us, which we actually have a problem with. You know, stop blaming other people for your problems. That's one of the arguments I have in this.
I get it. But do it yourself.
Right,
exactly.
But still, if my daughter and her friend makes a unanimous decision that they want to speak up for me, I'm not going to tell them no.
No. You convinced your daughter to come on video to do it. You fucking admitted it in the video, Cecil. Oh, God. Cecil, thing is, you do slip up, and you slipped up on that occasion. You convinced your daughter to come on video. My daughter finally agreed to come on video with me. That's fucking you asking her to come on the video with you. God, you see, Cecil, you think we're all stupid. We're not.
People could say I forced those girls to do that all they want. I know the facts. Tell your wife she got anything to say. She can speak. Ain't nobody going to patronize her.
Oh, we thought this was a 5-gear car. It is now gone into 6th gear, and it's about to take off. We just found the boost button here. Oh, this is going to get spicy.
Oh, you ain't going to like what I got to say.
Yeah, my wife...
Well, ma'am, you don't know me, so 99.9% of what everybody's saying about me isn't true anyways.
Well, see, the thing is, Cecil, I know more about you than I know about RV Charity Drive. I don't know much about our RV Charity Drive, actually. I knew a few things. Shredder. I fucking know order of magnitude for many years. But I know more about them than I know about you. I know more about you than I do about them. I know more about you than my next door neighbour. I know more about you than the people that live downstairs. Because, do you know why? Because you put a lot of your personal stuff out there. So a lot of people actually know a lot about you because sometimes you share too much. You put your whole life out there and then you have to live with these consequences. And then you have to lie your way out of it. That's the problem.
So I probably
her words. And admitted to doing something, and then you went and said, what do you do when two hot 10-year-olds come on to you, and how your sister caught you with your hands down your pants, and how she didn't want to
believe everything Nasty said to you? from another person, you
You
believe
said it.
every
You
bad
said it.
thing said.
Why would
Oh. Cecil's tone of voice has gone up because a woman has challenged him. And we all know what Cecil thinks of women, isn't that right? You want another rich tea biscuit? I know you do. Hold on a second. Do you want to get... There's no point in you being on the video. I don't think you could add very much to it, to the conversation here, but I'll give you a rich tea biscuit here. You like rich tea biscuits, don't you? I do have another packet here. Oh, you love these. Here you go. Oh, it's bits and bits. When she wants a rich tea biscuits, I get physically assaulted by punching. Alright, come here. Rich tea biscuit. Yum yum. Go over this other side. Go on over this side here. Actually, there you go. Come up here. For your rich tea biscuit. I know you give me a paw. No, you don't want to jump up because I'm teaching you not to jump up without being asked. Here's the other piece. Her mouth was already full of biscuits and she came back with the last little bit and she just went with the other biscuits still in her mouth. Anyway, continue.
could you say something like that?
Like what?
That's disgusting.
No,
Like
that was one. When I said
He
your
was
subsequent
saying
videos,
it
that
as
was
an
one of your.
adult man.
I
He
wasn't
was saying it when
saying
he
as
was
an adult grown.
No, but even at
hypothetically
16,
speaking.
that's not normal.
Oh, Cecil. See, you're in trouble now. See, that was part of the other videos. Oh, Cecil, you're back in the corner now. How are you going to get out of this one?
At 16, that's not normal.
Okay, what should I have said in regards to as an example? Should I have said if you
shouldn't have
were
said
a
anything
14
and you wouldn't have been in
listen,
trouble.
listen, if you were a 15-year-old kid and you had some fat little chubby girls trying to blah blah blah. So when I'm trying to be distinctive in my details, and like I said before, me saying shit a non proper way, not knowing the best way to say things, that people are going to fucking assume shit based off of what they say, based off of misunderstanding. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't always have the best way in words to say things. I'm not the smartest fool of the shed. Like he's
Getting mixed up with words and saying on a video, what are you going to do when there's two little hot girls that you think is hot at the time? And this is in relation to SA. That's not a slip, Cecil. I'm sorry. You're not making sense here, Cecil. You're backed in a corner. God. Cecil!
He said, I'm not the dumbest, but I'm not the smartest either. I think people are taking a lot of what I say out of context.
How can we take that out of context, Cecil? Can you explain that to me? Because apparently I'm stupid, according to you.
And just making what they want out of it. And I've seen it. I've predicted what people were going to say.
Because you're psychic. You said you weren't psychic, actually, to RV chat or random news. I've seen a video that you were in the middle of a ghost box session and you stopped to have a little talk. Now, I didn't bother before, this was a couple of years ago, I didn't bother before going through that video because it's a ghost box session. I'm not really interested in your ghost box sessions, to be honest with you. But I decided I'd go through this just in case you stopped to have a little rant. And you did. And you were talking about fake psychics and then talk about the paranormal. And then you said, as a psychic and a paranormal researcher, which both you lied and, you're not any of those. But that was in your conversation. You addressed yourself as a psychic and a paranormal researcher. So, you fucking lie all the time. Then you said the random news. In this particular stream, when did I ever say that I was psychic? So, this is the reason why we cover them. And Random News is very good at covering them because he knows where the contradictions are, and he can go back to past videos and put the contradictions together. It's fucking brilliant.
Based off of me making mistakes and realizing it on the spot, and then you guys doing exactly what I predicted.
A couple weeks ago, your girlfriend made a statement
Y'all are nitpicking me.
That was probably the most accurate statement I've ever heard, which is, you say things, I think, at times to instigate a response from either me or my brother.
Watch you guys. That's what you guys fail to realize. I don't watch any hate videos. And
I'm going to remind you.
Hold
on. I'm going to remind you, and I want to see if Hetty remembers. It was because I tell you what I'm going to do.
Let's all gang up on Cecil now and see how we can say Cecil's wrong.
No.
Cecil playing the victim again. But he is back to the corner. He's got Angelo's wife, and Cecil's wife. And then Cecil is backed in the corner. He's got nobody backing him up. He's kind of fucked.
I'm going to give you an example that happened that you did. I gave you an email, and I said, I'm calling social services on you and having a health and welfare check done on you. Yeah. Not your kid, not your girlfriend,
on you. You said a health and welfare check, and then next thing you know, social workers was pulling my daughter out of her class.
But I didn't. Hold on. Let's get to the point. I called the investigative unit for Kentucky, not Child Protective Services.
Which probably triggered them to
that
call.
Was not my. That had not. I had no power in what they did. All I could do was report. I made a report. I said, "There's a man in Covington who says these things and makes these videos," and I sent them the videos. I said,
"Did you tell them that these videos are not on my channel?
Doesn't matter, Cecil. You said that you made those videos. You deleted them off your channel, thinking that you would get away without explaining them. But the thing is, they're all over the fucking internet now. So you're kind of fucked. All right. And
they know they're not on your channel because they came from the website.
Hey,
let me finish. Let me finish, and then you. Can I finish?
Ask her this real quick. Have these people that are sharing these dumb videos about me, have they always uploaded videos that are not edited? I mean,
it depends on what you're.
What you consider
the way you put edited out. Let's see. Let me finish this, and then I'll talk about the edited thing. So I gave them the videos, and I gave them my report, because I still work for the federal government, whether you agree with it or not. I do. So
RB, I've already explained the video, bro.
I gave them the report. I said, "Is there enough here to have a health and welfare check done on him?" Because I don't think he's collectively all there, because he says things, and I don't think he realizes the way people outside are going to take it. Then you got the investigation. CPS came. They did the thing, and you started going around the house going, "Hey, RV, look at this, look at it." And then in the background, I could hear Hetty. Correct me if I'm wrong. She said, "No, now you're instigating with him."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I may have instigated y'all twice or two, but I'm the one being called a disgusting chomo all up and down YouTube all day.
I called you based on what I saw the videos displaying.
Me and you, sir, have made peace twice already, and because of other reasons.
I hate the word peace.
You went back on that. We were supposed to leave each other to hell alone, man. We were supposed to just come to an agreement and just go.
Yeah, but the thing is, Cecil, when you constantly lie, the agreement is never reached. That's the problem. And the thing is, you're lying through this, which means an agreement isn't being reached. Now, Angela goes and says, "Right, I have to go think about this." And then I'll leave a link to the whole thing. It turns to shit. And the reason why it turns to shit is because Angelo knew that you were lying to his face over and over again. Nothing has changed. This video, even this face-to-face video, you couldn't tell the truth. You know, you got more power and you can speak a lot freely when you're standing in the kitchen having your rant. But you're in a situation where you're having this conversation and you still can't tell the truth. You're still lying, despite all the contradictions that we tried pointing it out to you. If you don't watch our videos, I think you should watch Random User's videos on your Cecil. You have watched some of them, but the thing is, your definition of edited videos, the examples that you produce to us to prove that Random News edits videos, which he does edit videos because he has to edit, he has to put things together. Your example of the edited video, which you think is in your defense, is that Random News makes parody videos. See, so I don't even think that, you don't seem to realise what a parody is, and you haven't read the description that this is a parody video based on true events, blah blah blah. You didn't look at the disclaimer in the video where it was parody, but you used them as an example of, this guy makes these kind of videos, so that means he edits my videos. That's not a fucking defense, because the only examples that you're bringing up are parodies and cartoons. You're not bringing up the evidence where you claim that your confession video is edited, and where it's edited. All you're doing is throwing out blanket statements without proper defense. Where are they edited, how are they edited, blah blah blah. You're just coming out with fucking, we know they're lies. You don't have a it's such a cagey defense every time that we can debunk it every time. You know, and you've got no way around that. And then you get angry and start calling people names.
Why are we back at messing with me?
Because you offered to have a conversation today, and I'm having a conversation with you.
No, I'm asking you a legitimate question. I'm not kicking you off.
Because I don't like the way you said the word peace when you were describing, hey, RV and me made peace, why can't his brother? I didn't make peace with you. Neither of us agreed to change our opinion.
You wanted me to have peace. I have the email, my
Cecil, I want nothing better than for you to have peace. The problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know what RV's about to say, because I can't remember. But the problem is, Cecil, you keep lying to us. And you keep blaming us for your problems all the time. We edited videos. No, we didn't edit videos. The very fact that you say that we edit videos is you shifting the blame from you to us. And that pisses us, as in us as a community, off. We didn't edit your videos. We don't appreciate you saying that we edit your videos, especially with the subject matter. It's not something to be fucked with. And for you to blame us for editing your videos and accusing you of something that you haven't done with the subject matter that we're talking about, for you to fucking blame us for that, I find fucking very offensive and disgusting that you would fucking do that. What I'd rather you would do is take responsibility and move on with your life, and I'll fuck off and do something else. I'll work on my other channel.
Problem with that is you don't want peace because you continually. Let me finish.
In defense,
you make videos to instigate, which cause us to respond.
I don't do it to instigate. I do it to defend myself because I'm sick and tired of people harassing me over shit that I know is not true. I can give a fuck if people think it's true or not.
Hold on. Worse. You've called me a pedo.
Okay,
how many videos?
Ma'am, how would you like it, RV's wife? If you got called something, you know you're not. Because
Her
your
name's
words were
Nancy.
taken all out of
Guess
context.
what? I wouldn't respond because I know I'm not guilty.
Because you
Right.
don't have a YouTube channel. You don't care about that shit.
She actually does have a
I
YouTube channel.
Okay.
She's had one longer than me.
People call me all sorts of things. I don't respond because it's not true.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Exactly.
Hold on.
I
But when
have
you
to
got
agree with
social
her on
workers
that.
knocking on your door, you
And
kind
this
of
is
want
for
to
Hetty,
fight
too.
for yourself a little bit.
This is for Hetty. I have had CPS come to my house. I've had police come to my house because I've been swatted. And it doesn't matter to me, and I've never filmed it because it didn't turn into anything because it's not true. You've called me a pedo numerous times. How many videos have I made
Out of
responding
revenge.
to you
While
calling me a
saying
pedo?
that we all know
That's
you're
what
not a
I'm saying.
pedo.
It's a
But how
fucking
does it feel to be
ping-pong
called
game, dude.
one? This is
It
all
feels
out of
absolutely
reprise
terrific because
shit
I
or
know I'm not
trolling.
one. I don't have to make a video
Exactly.
defending myself for it.
Right. As I said earlier on, not only has Angelo been called a pedo, but I have been called one as well. And any other person that has actually had something to say in relation to Cecil. So, basically all he's doing is attacking. So he doesn't believe, he doesn't believe what he's saying. He's basically fucking putting out this lie just to attack. But that's the dirtiest tactic that you could put out, like. And it is actually slander, which he can be charged with, you know, in the court of law. Slander is a horrible thing, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's not worth my time because I know he doesn't fucking mean it. He's just done that as a dirty tactic. I don't think he believes that we are those things. But the thing is, when you have to resort to that kind of attacks, it means you don't have anything to defend yourself except dirty tactics. See, this is why Cecil is not a liked person. He resorts to dirty tactics because he doesn't have a proper defence for what we call him out on. He's got no defence at all, so everybody's a flippin' cheese pizza. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
But
just
when people
agreed
knocking
to
on
what I
your
just said.
door, wanting to talk to your kids over some shit that is bullshit, those resources could have been used on somewhere useful.
Cecil, the thing is, you're 43 years old. Should you not be fucking just doing anything else other than fucking this kind of shite on the internet and resorting to fucking calling people those kinds of names? It's childish, Cecil. It doesn't reflect very good on you, no matter how much you fucking attack people like that. The more you do it, the worse it is for you because it reflects badly on you. It doesn't reflect badly on us at all. The first time you attacked me, I didn't know any of these people apart from Order of Magnitude. I didn't know any of them. I didn't know who Shredder was. I've heard of him because he was friends with Order of Magnitude and that. But apart from that, I didn't know anything about it. And next thing, Shredder comes up and he calls you out for fucking calling me all sorts of fucking names under the sun. I was saying, Jesus, these people are great. Do you know? See, the thing was, and then you fucking apologised for me. You know why you apologised for me? Because people started coming down on you like a ton of bricks. You know, Sam wouldn't hurt the fly, blah, blah, blah. Do you know? And it wasn't justified what you done. And then you apologised to get the heat off you. That's all you done. Because you didn't really believe it, because a couple of years later you fucking started at me again for fucking a question I asked. You know, a simple question. I wasn't even that hard on you.
Cecil, I sent 17 videos that you've made over the period of 3 years.
I don't know. I don't watch your videos, bro. I don't watch anybody that talks crap.
No, I didn't make videos. I took 17 of your videos over 3 years, including the first video that got me onto you, and I sent them to the investigator. I said, "Is there enough here to investigate?"
They're all just being taken out of context. All these videos are being put out out of context.
How the fuck could it be taken out of context, Cecil? how could these videos, especially the childhood story confession video, how could that be taken out of fucking context? Can you explain that to me? Because I don't understand, because I'm stupid according to you.
Like,
I
hey,
have a question.
people saying kids are fully developed. Y'all know I was trying to make a point. I wasn't.
Oh yeah, you were trying to make a point there, alright? You were trying to back up the confession video, Cecil. God. The education system has definitely failed us at this point.
No, that's not what you said. You said my daughter is fully developed and having her period, and she's a lesbian. That's the.
And that's private information that you shouldn't have put out, Cecil. And you used that as an example for your argument for the things that you've been accused of. I mean, like, how stupid can you be?
Video you made.
The way you just put it, that's not how I did the video. You're missing the point, RV. My point was y'all were talking like those girls that y'all are accusing me of, because it's only y'all accusing me. Y'all are saying that these girls were like toddlers.
They're 8 and 10, Cecil. They're 8 and 10. I don't think 8 and 10-year-olds would even think about things like what we're talking about here. They're fucking busy fucking playing with dolls and I'm not going to say playing house, but you were mentioning playing house. You haven't clarified what actually playing house actually is, according to you, because I'd hate to think, because sometimes your explanation for something is completely different to normal people. I know I retract that last statement. Your definition of playing house may be different to other people.
Like, not even walking. That's how you guys are.
It doesn't matter.
They're not toddlers. They're minors.
It does
they're
matter.
minors.
I'm the one being accused.
Yeah, but he was
I
a
was
minor
too. I was
No, Hetty, no. 15, 16, 17, doesn't matter if the fucking laws of consent is 18 or not. 15, 16, 17 and 8 and 10 do not go at all. No fucking way. So stop that shite, please.
Let's address that, because you asked me to address that before. Remember, you said, help me make sense how at 16 and 17, I'm an adult, but Tammy was doing something with a 17-year-old and they weren't adult. It's about position. It's about position of authority.
You're much older.
It doesn't matter. You're not
much older, so you know better.
Were you the babysitter?
Nobody, though.
Yes, he was the babysitter, actually. I fucking forgot about that. He was supposed to be babysitting an 8 and 10-year-old. What is the job of a babysitter? Everybody knows the answer to that question. Is to protect and look after the 8 and 10-year-old or the child that you're babysitting, not to do other things with. Fucking that is, yeah. And this other situation, that person was a professional, a psychologist that took advantage of a patient. Doesn't matter if they're 17 and that, but if they're psychologist patient, the patient and the professional relationship is a no-no. See, so
that's the thing. That's where y'all are missing.
And that's where the story
I was being targeted.
Can I talk for a second?
I'm just.
That's where the story has changed so many times with his sister. First it was one girl, then it was two girls.
20-something
years. One time the light was on, the other time the light was off. These girls were so fucked up in the head from being touched by their adult relatives that also molested Cecil.
That's why I even brought this story up in the first place.
They would touch him.
Because I know it would happen.
No. Hetty. An 8 and 10-year-old molesting a 15, 16, and 17-year-old. No, I don't know. No. Hetty, stop talking before you just completely fuck this all up. Because I know you're trying to help Cecil here, but you're making things worse. Stop. You weren't there. I know you're trying to help and that, but at the moment you're making it worse. Stop making that fucking argument because it doesn't wash. And for you to fucking stand by that, you know, your fucking attitude is questionable.
She took a shower with the little girls because they didn't know how to bathe properly because they were so neglected, and they were touching on his sister.
Right.
But you weren't there, Cecil. Or you weren't there, Hetty. This is second-hand information. We can't... No.
The Rosie one?
These little, Rosie? And I'm not justifying any behaviors here. I'm just saying that these little girls were messed up in the head. They were so badly victimized and so messed up in the head and so sexual at such a young age that I don't know. I mean, I have my own theories of what happened because Cecil's got it.
But theories is not fact, Hetty. I'm sorry. Theories is not fact, Hetty. You weren't there. You didn't see these children at the time. So you're only going off the information of Cecil and the sister, who are unreliable with their information.
The diagnosed sleeping disorder, and I think some shit may have happened.
We're
and he
trying
was
to
doing
figure
some
it out
weird
with
fucking
me, like
sleep
when it comes
shit.
to my sleep problem.
Like he was crashed out.
This is 3 o'clock in the morning, though.
He was crashed out, and these little girls, you know, fucked around with him, and maybe he touched them back.
Hetty, I told you to shut up. Respectfully. But you just... Oh, you really... Oh, fucking hell. Hetty, you would have been better if you just kept your mouth shut. Because you just fucked it all up. Oh, dear. No. Oh, God. That wasn't helpful, Hetty, on Cecil's side. I mean, like, you completely fucked him there.
I mean,
and that's when
like
his sister supposedly walked in.
And then Cecil's sister walked in.
We're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Even though you made umpteen excuses and blamed us for it. Blamed us for editing the videos. Then you said you lied. Then you said you got words mixed up and stuff like that. And now you're saying that we're trying to figure it out. So what is it? Is it these other excuses? Which one? Or is it we're still trying to work it out? But after this video, you went back to these other excuses. So what is it, Cecil? Are we trying to work it out, or are we sticking with one excuse? That any of the excuses that you actually have come up with so far don't wash at all. Don't make any sense.
She swears.
Let me apologize to your wife for calling her out of her name.
She swears that her story changes, but she always says, "I know what I saw."
So the sister knows what. Oh. Right.
I will say that Rosie's story has changed.
Yes.
Cecil's story has changed.
It's not the fucking truth.
Because the first time Rosie said something, she said something about she was with her husband or boyfriend, and she had a beer bottle in her hand.
Yeah, which
and when she was talking to, what's that kid's name that you used to work with at the security agency? Bo. And when Bo was talking to her, she told a completely different story in Facebook. But she still maintains
The dog farted. You're rotten. You don't care, do you? Fucking hell.
That
She
she
still
saw what she
maintains.
saw.
But you guys are looking for confirmation of guilt.
And all I'm saying is maybe she did see something. Maybe Cecil was crashed out, and these little girls are like, ha ha, let's look at his wiener. And then Cecil reacting because he's sleeping, and he does fucking weird shit in his sleep sometimes. That's why he never would snuggle with Sandra when she was little.
Oh. Hetty, you just completely fucked this all up. Oh. Maybe he did do something. Again, I don't know any 8 or 10-year-old that would think in that sort of way. In a good family or an abused family, I can't see it, so I don't know. Oh, Hetty, you helped us a while out here. Thank you. Oh God, I bet you Cecil's fucking raging right now. I bet you he's spitting fire right now inside.
Never.
If he was like falling asleep, he wouldn't like fall asleep with her.
I just don't want to take a chance.
That he will hum. I mean, okay, not to get too graphic, but you know when a guy like rubs a girl off, like you can imagine the motion. And Cecil had done that like behind my kneecap.
Too much information, Eddie, but you know I says for you to shut up respectfully. I retract that. Continue talking, Eddie, because this is interesting.
In his sleep, and I'll wake him up like, what the fuck are you doing?
He films me sometimes and gives us something to laugh at.
He does shit in his sleep. He'll go and fucking brew whole pots of coffee. He's on sleeping medication now. It's getting better. The first shit they had him on, it made...
Hold on a second. He does shit in his sleep. Hold on a second.
You know, when a guy like rubs a girl off, like you can imagine the motion. And Cecil has done that like behind my kneecap in his sleep, and I'll wake him up like, what the fuck are you doing?
He films me sometimes and gives us something to laugh at.
He does shit in his sleep. He'll go and fucking brew whole pots of coffee. He's on sleeping medication now. It's getting better. The first shit they had him on, it made him too groggy. He's trying to get help for this sleeping disorder now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's my whole thing, is maybe she really did see something.
Sorry.
Maybe she really did see his hands down one or both.
And I didn't hear about it until about a week later when the girls warned me, like, this is what Rosie's going to say when he gets
because I know when this man is lying. We went to Kings Island. He does not like roller coasters. He swore up and down he rode the one roller coaster. I knew he was fucking lying. I know when Cecil's lying. And he is not lying when he says, I did not touch those girls.
Oh, God. Cecil lies all the time, Hetty. That's the problem, you see. Oh, God. Hetty, you just debunked us fucking editing the videos. We didn't edit the videos. Oh. Is Hetty on our side or what? I don't know. But she's not helping Cecil whatsoever at this point. But we're going down the fucking sleep disorder thing. But Cecil then retracts back to he lied in 90% of the video, and we edit the videos. So, you know, this is fucking shite.
They touched me. They would grab my dick and put their hands down my pants, and I would go tell on them, and Cecil would get shooed away. Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
That's not what he said in the confession videos, Eddie, though. I presume you've seen the confession video yourself, and the other videos that he's deleted that we actually have. 10-year-olds are fully developed and blah, blah, blah. And then this thing about, you know, we were doing sexual shit, and then you butted in and said, but not with each other. Hetty, you weren't there, so I don't know why you keep adding to the story here. I know you've probably been talking to the sister and you've been talking to Cecil, but the thing is, Cecil's full of shite. He's proved it over and over again. He lies about everything.
Leave us alone. The kids' parents did not care that they were being victimized and acting out from it. So I don't know. I wasn't there. The only people that were there were Cecil and the girls, and his sister walked in on something.
And our moms
and
were always at the bar.
Nobody really fucking knows. Nobody.
So anything that you've said doesn't, should not be taken into account because you weren't theirs. But very interesting that she thinks that he might have. Hey, get down! Sorry for headphone users, I didn't mean to shout. So, Hetty's come out with all this kind of thing. Maybe he did do something. So she possibly thinks that he might have done something. And she's been talking to the sister. And she's been talking to him. And this is what she's come up with. Very interesting indeed.
And it's fucked up too because his sister was the adult.
Have you ever tried regressive therapy?
Huh?
Legit question. Have you ever tried regressive therapy?
I thought about
It's where they hypnotize you and they take you back to a period of time so you can try to remember better.
Remember what happened?
Yeah, but he's psychic, he should know. Instead of trying to figure it out, like you said in this video. Cecil says he was psychic. He's psychic Cecil, he should know.
I would love to, because I don't remember it that much clearly. The only thing I remember was my sister was about to slander my name. And I was fucking at all. I was like, what? Why would she say this? I was in shock. But my sister's also lied on Greg, called him a chomo. He ain't no fucking chomo. My brother TJ, he ain't no fucking chomo. Every time she gets mad at a guy, he all of a sudden becomes a kid toucher. That's just how her personality is.
And she said that
when she gets angry at a man, those things come back in her head.
Dads should not change their
daughter's diapers. But what about
they
single dads?
They might be tempted to touch their daughters if they see their little infant baby daughter who needs a diaper change. The father should not change that baby's diaper.
But the thing is, Cecil's already said in videos that he done these things, but it was their fault. And then, not only doing one video, but many videos. You know, we still can't resolve. We're not out of the woods yet, Cecil. We're not out of the woods yet, Hetty. We've got multiple videos of him backing up the original video where he told his childhood story. This other excuse too. I was telling somebody else's story. The thing about lying, you don't lie about shit like that. Who the fuck does that? Telling somebody else's story, but putting yourself in that situation, that doesn't make any sense either. Also editing the video, that doesn't make any sense either, because in crucial parts of the video there's a dog barking. It was barely heard, it was heard a couple of times in real time, but if you put it into an audio editing software like Odyssey that Cecil has, put it in and ramp up the gain to 300. That's the highest gain on that Odyssey. That's where I got the dog barking at crucial parts of the video. And you put our headphones on, and if we edited the videos, there would have been chops in the background. I've explained this in another fucking video. Now, what is a spectrum analyzer? A spectrum analyzer, when you hook it up to a piece of audio, it gives you a pictorial pattern of the audio that's coming out. Now, audio comes out in waves. If a video is chopped up, a lot of the time it's chopped up mid-wave. If it's chopped up mid-wave, what it's going to do, it's going to have a deep line in the spectral analyze software, which never happened throughout the whole of Cecil's audio. So that gave me the indication that none of the audio was tampered in any way, or none of the audio was cut at the peak of the audio wave. If you record something on Audacity, you start talking, you press Audacity and you record, you will see, after you stop recording, you will see this pattern, or it actually happens in real time when you're recording, this pattern, up and down pattern. That's your audio wave. If you cut in the middle of that wave, you don't have that curve going back down. It's just a complete and utter drop. You will see that in the spectral analyzer. I hope that's understandable for people. But, you know, that's just a simplified version of layers of audio. Audio is a bit like an onion. There's fucking loads of different layers. But the two important layers was the vocal layer and the background layer. None of those were tampered with at all. So we had two layers that we could look into, where the wave was going up and down and was not cut in mid-wave. You cut it in mid-wave, all you have is a drop afterwards. You see on Audacity, it's always going up and down, up and down. It's not going up and then all of a sudden dropping down like that. If that happens, there may be a cut there. Didn't happen in Cecil's video.
The birth father, DNA father, shouldn't change that baby's diaper because they might be tempted to touch them. Like your sister has been so victimized too. Her mind isn't right from it.
It's not her.
See, this is the thing too now. We're throwing the sister under the bus. We're outing the sister as a liar on that. And the sister's fine with all of this. Now, if Cecil didn't do anything to these kids, this sister should come out with the truth. Because if I was Cecil and I didn't do anything, I would certainly be pissed off with the sister. I would have issues. There would be a problem in the relationship there. Because this sister has just ruined my life for the last 20 years or 10 years or whatever. It doesn't make any sense, Cecil, that you're pally-pally with the sister if your sister's a liar and has ruined your life for the last 10 years. Doesn't make any sense. It's not washing with us, I'm afraid. And I think RP has realised all along that he's been lied to.
Her fault. That's why I'm not mad at her.
I mean, that's definitely I mean, just speaking from perspective, that's definitely a sign of somebody that's had some sort of trauma in their life.
Yes. So I don't doubt that she either
it's
saw
not normal
something,
thinking.
She either saw something or thinks she saw something.
She was.
I'm not disputing that the sister hasn't gone through things. I think the whole family has gone through a lot of things. But we're not resolving this issue at all. It's beginning to become a complete and utter waste of time. You know?
Drunk too,
and
by the way.
If she did see something, yeah, she was supposed to be there watching the kids, and she went out drinking.
According to Cecil, that's where you're getting the information from, Hetty. That's the problem. You see, you weren't there. So,
you know, we're not pointing blame here, but, I mean, come on.
Yes, we are. We are. Cecil still is not taking responsibility and is still lying and is still fucking blaming other people for his problems, including the victims, which I find very disgusting. We're not getting anywhere here. I thought when this was happening and at the beginning of this conversation, when it did air a year ago, I was saying, I'm going to sit down with a nice cup of coffee. This is most likely the end of all this. And boy, was I fucking disappointed. But it was entertaining towards the end.
Come on. And Cecil, yes, Cecil was a 17-year-old boy, and 17-year-old boys should know better. 16, 17, whatever. 17,
which I did,
right?
I told.
Exactly. No, you didn't. You didn't say that in any of your fucking videos. Not only the confession video or any of the things, the videos that were backing up the confession video. You didn't say that. That was an afterthought. You started making up shit to try and make a defense for yourself, but that doesn't correspond with your confession video or any of the other videos. You didn't say that you fucking told the parents at all. You were saying the parents didn't care, so, you know, if they didn't care, I might as well fall for the lust myself. That's not telling the parents, Cecil. I know you deleted the video off your channel. That fucks up your defense here. You didn't mention it in the original video either. So your defense is completely fucked up here. Do you see where you fucking... Do you see where the holes are in your defense, Cecil? It happens every time you try to make a defense. You have the same arguments over and over again, but you have the same holes. And we see those same holes. And we point it out more and more people are aware of the fucking holes in that defense. And it hasn't changed. Your defense has got more holes than a fucking fishing net here at this point.
But the thing is, too, you have to think back to how you were raised and what your mind at 17 was probably that of a 12-year-old. Mm-hmm. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because you...
But the thing is, Hetty, if it was, you know, that would be sort of, well, fine would not be the word I would use. That would be explainable, right? That would be explainable. You'd have fucked up childhood, you didn't know right from wrong, etc., right? But that doesn't excuse them, and that doesn't excuse them for not taking responsibility. This is the situation I was in. I had a very rough upbringing. I didn't know right from wrong because I was never taught right from wrong because of the way I was brought up, etc. You can use your upbringing as a defense. It'll work. But you can't blame all of that in later life. You have to say, right, I know now that that was wrong, and I'm taking responsibility for it now, and I'm trying to move on with my life, and I apologise for any hurt that I've caused, blah blah blah. But that's not happening here. Doesn't matter if he didn't know what he was doing when he was 17 and was acting like a 12-year-old. But the thing is, Hetty wasn't there when he was 17. So I don't know. It's not, you see, Hetty is putting out second and third hand information here, which we can't take into account.
You guys, and I know you don't like when I say that your mom was a piece of shit because that's your mom and you love her, but your mom was a piece of fucking shit and did not do her job to protect you guys and teach you guys the right way as a mother.
She didn't know.
She did not.
She didn't know. Mom wasn't very smart. I love her. But...
And I really think that you at 17 had the mindset of like a 10 to 12-year-old little boy, even though you were a 17-year-old, pretty much almost a man.
I was...
Well, you know, right, you can say that, right, your mother done this and that and all the rest of it. But then you can take responsibility and say, this is what happened, and I didn't know that I was doing something wrong. I do know now, and I regret it, and I'm remorseful, and I'm sorry. But the thing is, Cecil has constantly blamed the victims. And then his pattern of behaviour of attacking other people and calling women bitches and horrible names over and over again gives me the indication that he doesn't like women very much. You know, the behaviour hasn't changed. You know, it'd be different if he was a fucking nice person now. But all he does is he attacks other people, and as I said earlier on, he attacks in the most vicious way possible by accusing us of the crimes that he's been called out for. You know, so I don't. You see, that's what the thing is. You think at some point that Cecil's going to take responsibility. At this moment in time, that's not happening because he's still blaming everybody else for his behaviour problems. So there's no resolution here. And when I got to a certain point in this video, when I watched it first time, I said, oh jeez, I thought it was going to be all over. I was completely and utterly wrong, and it looks like this is going to go on for another while. Which it has. It's a year later and nothing has fucking changed at all. Nothing. It's still the fucking same. It's the same circle of shite over and over again. You know, and I don't know how this is going to end, to be honest with you, because it's just, Cecil's just not going to take any responsibility for anything, despite umpteen videos backing up the original childhood story, as he'd like to call it.
And I'm not saying that to knock you. I'm saying that because I really think that about you, Cecil. Because you've shared stories with me that you haven't even fucking talked about on YouTube.
No.
Because there's...
Are we looking at an iceberg here of other things? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
So fucking
you can't
twisted.
Talk personal.
And one other thing, because I gotta finish doing what I was doing, is you are guilty about keeping the ping pong game going back and forth. How many times am I like, quit making videos? Somebody will leave a comment and you have to say something back, even if it's just your mom.
Cecil's getting grilled. Big time. He's backed in the corner. There's nobody backing him at all. Well, Hetty's tried, but she just made things worse for him. And I think Cecil's realised that, and he's fucking pissed.
You know, it's like, come on, just leave it be. The best way to piss off a troll, and he'll probably agree to this. Best way to piss off a troll is to fucking ignore it.
She's actually completely correct there. But I think Cecil has to fucking, he gets angry and he has to get it out. And what he normally, he uses YouTube as a release mechanism.
Next thing you know,
because if you give them something to keep trolling you with, they're going to keep doing it back, and that fucking ping pong game keeps going on.
By the way, I'd like to apologize to your wife from previous videos insulting her. She ain't got nothing to do with it, regardless of her opinion.
Would you like to apologise to us as well, Cecil? But, you know, I've seen this video already. He doesn't do it.
I'm just saying, you didn't deserve it, regardless of...
we didn't deserve it either, Cecil. I just want to tell you that.
How you feel about me, I don't care.
You know, just like I don't care. They can harass me, call me Sasquatch, say I'm a bad mom, say I'm a bad wife. I don't care because I know who I am. Even if I had a YouTube channel, sure, I have a YouTube channel with a couple videos, but I don't... on there to be on there, you know.
Oh, hold on a minute, guys. We got someone working. You want to hold on and continue to talk?
That's not me.
RB. All right.
Sure.
I'm a punch out of here. I have to go let that plumber in.
Oh, we're going to be seeing the weeping Jesus candle for a few minutes here.
I'll be right back. Y'all stand by, okay? Be right back.
Oh, there we go. I don't know. I'm literally just trying to figure information out.
But you know, at this point, nothing has changed. He's already lied. And, you know, I don't think there's at this point of the conversation, nothing has happened. Nothing is resolved. Absolutely nothing. It's the same stuff. It's just with less angry tempers and stuff like that. It's the same lies without the kitchen rant, if you know what I'm saying. You know, he's more subdued because he's talking to RV directly and stuff like that. But it's the same shit. It's the same shit in a mild manner, if you know what I mean. It's served on a different. It's got a different kind of dressing on it, if you know what I mean. It's just the same shit, though.
I don't know what I'm supposed to think.
Either am I. Well, that's what I just said. That's what I think. It's just the same shit with a different dressing on it. Oh, there's Jesus Castle. Hold on a second. I think it's a plumber he has or something that arrived. There you go. There's the...
Oh, look, I get to look at Jesus.
Yeah, there's Jesus. This is the weeping Jesus that Cecil is talking about. And right here is... as far as I know, this is paper that's embedded in plastic or something, and what happens is some of the wax goes between the paper and the plastic and stains the paper, you know. And if he thinks that it's condensation and stuff like, or tears and that, I think it's condensation, to be honest with you, without getting too scientific about it. He watched a couple of videos of crying statues and stuff, which happened in Ireland and a few other places. But he was watching this top 10 or top 5 channel, and then he thought, you know, I think Jesus is weeping, sort of thing. But if I was Jesus in Cecil's house, I'd be weeping too. You know what I mean? Right.
Oh, yeah, I know where you're connected now. You're plugged in, aren't you?
There we go. I'm going to go. Coming back now in a second. Here we go.
Oh, thanks for reposting the link, Queen Christy.
Sorry you had to look at Jesus there for a few.
He's a good man.
Amen. But I dig it, man. I get what y'all are saying, man. I agree. Like, I've made some stupid mistakes on YouTube, and I've said some stupid shit, and I may have misworded a lot of things out of anger, trying to act like I don't give a fuck, when really I did give a fuck what people were saying.
That's not resolving the thing at all. And I know what hadn't been resolved. I said stupid things on YouTube. That's true. I've worded things wrong. Yes, he has done that as well. But does that fit into the jigsaw of the confession? And these other videos, we have to bring these other videos into the fucking picture as well, to get the whole picture on. Not one video, but multiple videos. Get down off the couch now. Thank you. No. It's game over. It's done. And I came to that realization. I said, I would thought that this was going to be over this night. This came out. Very disappointing, but at least I had a laugh at the end, because it was funny. I'm not going to go through the whole flipping video.
How they were saying it in their... I just feel like people just really want confirmation of guilt. I really feel like people are just nitpicking every little bad thing they can think of to say that they think people will believe, and they're just excluding all the good. Everything good, because that one thing is bypassing their minds. I don't want people to believe something that isn't true.
One good. I'm trying to find the good in all of this. When Cecil admitted doing this to these kids, and then made up all these excuses, but backed up the confession video, which he no longer stands behind, but at the time backed it up with other videos, which I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry, but you get the picture here. It's not. It's there's the face of RV. It's game over. It's done. It's over with. It was a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. He's not taking accountability. He's just making excuses.
I just don't. I don't like it. Fucks on my OCD. I don't care if people like me or not. I just want people to know the truth.
What's the real story behind you making that
That's
video?
what I've been trying to put out, man. I just want people to know the real story. First of all, there was no sexual.
Not what you said, and not what you've done when you backed up the video with other videos. No. Objection, Your Honor. No.
Let me get that clear, because there was no penetration. There was no me touching of a private part. Now, we played house and little harmless kid games like that.
Now, there's an opportunity to ask, can you define what playing house is, Cecil, in your perspective? What is playing house?
You know, but any time the kids try to be inappropriate, I went straight to the mom. But they did.
No. That's a lie as well. I'm sorry, Cecil. You see, the thing is, that's an important part of the story, which you would have came out with in another video. But when you backed up the confession video, you backed it up with, I'm repeating myself over and over again here, Cecil, but their mom didn't care, so I might as well fall for the lust myself. That clip is on Daisy Benning's channel. It's there, and it's not altered, Cecil, so stop. No. I told the mom, no. They didn't care, so I fell for the lust myself. I might as well fall for the lust myself. That is your words. So stop. That's a lie.
Do inappropriate things with other boys. Like I said, I was adding some of other people's story with mine.
No. You put yourself in the first person all the way through it. If that was somebody else's story, why would that character be you? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Stop.
And just because I know a lot of people relate, I've had people tell me, hey, Cecil, I fucked so-and-so, and they're my second cousin. I'm like, that's not nothing to brag about.
Oh yeah, that was another excuse. I was trying to relate, so I added other people's story. No, that doesn't work either, Cecil. I'm sorry. There's too many videos that you backed up this confession video, which means that you're kind of locked in that situation where you can't excuse it away. It doesn't work, Cecil. You tried all of this over and over again for a number of years now, and it's the same shit. This is the same cycle of shit, except for it's not angry. You're not getting angry and calling people names, and you haven't called RV names and stuff like that. It's a fucking mild conversation, but at the end of the day, it's the same record playing. It's just the same shit.
At all. That's disgusting. I have a different view of you now. You know, but there's a lot of trashy people in my city, and I'm associated with a lot of trashy people from the past. So some people just don't give a shit what you think. They'll tell you straight up the little stupid shit they done. You know? So I know some people do relate, kinda, to what I went through, my brothers went through. Look, me and my brother woke up one day up in City Heights, and we were both up.
Some people relate to what I went through and my brother went through. Are we talking about these, the other things? Or are we talking about in general, including your childhood story and all these other videos that you were backing up and trying to justify that a 10-year-old can sometimes look older than 10 years old and have breasts and are fully developed and their brains are fully developed And what are you going to do when there's two little hot girls that you think is hot at the time, when you were 15, 16 and 17 and they're 8 and 10? I keep repeating that shit, but it just won't go away, Cecil. It's not been... The fundamental questions are not being answered. They're being avoided with the same excuses that you've been feeding for the last couple of years. That's why it's game over. There's no point in talking anymore. It's just a waste of fucking time.
Like 14 and 15, 14 and 13, 14 and 12. We woke up and each girl had one in her hand. One was my brother's, one was mine. I'm like, what the hell? Not cool. Went straight to their parents, dude.
No.
Whatever happened when you go to their parents, what would the parents do?
They didn't care, so he might as well fall for the lust himself. That's what he said in another video. But I understand RV asking because he's interested to see what kind of answer he's going to get for this.
Oh, Cecil. And then she walks over to the girls, busts her ass real good, get them crying, puts a red mark on their asses, and that's it.
No, there's a contradiction. He says the parents didn't care, so, if they didn't care, I might as well fall for the lust myself. That clip is in Daisy Benning's channel. I've repeated that over and over again. There's a contradiction there. It's not working, Cecil. It's game over. We're not, I thought we were supposed to not lie through this. Look at the face of a defeated man. This is a waste of fucking time. We were wasting our time. RB was wasting his time. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But we were trying to get you to take accountability and it didn't happen. I was going to go on this live stream and then I said, no, I don't really want to. When I got to a point where I says, yeah, he's lying the whole way through this. What's the point in me coming on and he's going to lie to me as well? Because at the beginning I was saying, right, I might go on. But then I said, no, this is the same old shit.
Ass whooping, no talk, nothing. No educational session, nothing.
From a parental perspective, that was the wrong answer.
Yeah, very wrong.
They needed to figure out what was going on in the girls' lives that they felt that kind of behavior was appropriate. They needed an
intermission.
But is any of that true at all? Because, you got to remember too that Cecil's already fucking blamed the victims over and over again. And he has a habit of blaming other people for his problems. So is this just a fucking diversion? Who the fuck knows at this point? But am I going to take him seriously with this? No, because he's got a record of fucking, trying to worm his way out of things by passing the blame onto other people. It doesn't matter if they're 8 and 10.
Listen, they needed to sit down. What the fuck's going on? Why are y'all acting like this?
Yeah. I'd say.
My daughter can talk to me about anything.
You shouldn't be talking about this to your daughter, though. That's the problem, Cecil. That's where we've had a problem with Joe. And you standing in your room and your daughter's in next door and you're talking about CP and some of the language that you use.
Anything. I don't want her to feel like, I can't talk to my dad about that and then keep secrets from me to where she gets hurt. I don't want her to feel like she can't tell me anything that's bothering her or anything that she's going through, because I let my daughter know we all are humans. We all grow up, get old. We all been young before. We all went through things, relationships, friendships, anything. You can talk to your dad and your mom, good or bad. Doesn't matter what it is, So I didn't have that growing up. My mom wasn't stopping the predator who was in the basement asking everybody to go get Cecil to come downstairs and talk to him after he molested me 60 times. Nobody went downstairs to put him in jail. Nobody was calling the cops. He was cussing through the floor of the basement. I didn't fucking do that. Cecil, get your ass down here. It's like, why is nobody stopping this guy?
The question I'd ask here, Cecil explains that a lot of things have happened. Now, that would mess up. No, I'm trying to be respectful here. That would mess up anybody's mind. And I'm being respectful here. I'm not saying that, you know, it would cause you to be completely mentally ill and that's why Cecil is the way he is. But if you go through that much trauma, you would need fucking trauma counselling. You can't deal with these things on your own. And I know women are better at reaching out for help than a lot of men. You know, Cecil has said that because he's got a medical card, he can get these tablets that help with his addiction to prescription medication, right? And he says, but the conditions of the medical card is you have to go through counselling, you know, go through psychological counselling, blah blah blah, or what way did he put it? Psychiatric counselling or something like that. Was this dealt with in that particular way, or was this psychological counselling to do with the drug addiction? Because if it was to do with the drug addiction, you would still need a counsellor for the trauma of childhood. Now, I know Cecil brings it up a lot, which means it's still in his mind. I don't know, but, you know, that doesn't excuse him. It doesn't immune him from taking responsibility. He doesn't take responsibility. He'd rather just fucking blame somebody else than take responsibility, and that could be part of the thing, but he needs to do that. You know, sometimes, you know what I mean, I do fucking take the piss and stuff like that, but in some parts of this, it's fucking sad, and it's hard work.
He's literally in the basement, hollering through the floor for me. And my mom's here. Cecil, just stay there. Don't move, Cecil. Don't go down there. Mom, you're not protecting me. Call the cops on this son of a bitch. I remember one time my mom got fed up, I guess eventually. Started waking up a little bit. And ordered the cops to bring me to the hospital. Because I wouldn't go. She wanted to get a rape kit done on me. Because somebody was telling her I got raped by this guy. I said, Mom, he didn't penetrate me or nothing like that. So I remember, like it was yesterday, she had me in front of the hospital where I was born when it was a hospital at St. Elizabeth in Covington. Trying to get me to go in the hospital to get checked. I'm like, Mom, we're wasting time. I don't want him to probe me. Nothing like that happened. And tried to explain to her exactly what happened. But eventually I got older, and he was staying, he was with my, at the time, best friend's grandma's boyfriend. He was his grandma's boyfriend. And he woke my friend up and me up by trying to unzip my best friend at the time's pants to touch him. Well, we had a bucket of candles that were waxed together from being so hot in this 5-pound bucket. And we both grabbed him by the arm and swung him down the steps. His head went through the window, and we poured hot wax down his body. Got his ass put in jail. He was out the next day. Never fucked with us again. Never got molested no more. Because that's around the time I started running with gang members. You fuck with one, you fuck with the rest of them. That's just how we were in the 90s. You know how it was in the 90s. Everybody wanted to be gangbanging. Gangster rap was popular, and everybody thought they were in a gang and shit. You know, but that's what it was. You know. So I could sit here for hours and tell you stories, man. But I don't, because everybody had it rough. Everyone has had a rough life. It's nothing special. You know, there's no reason to sit here and share my whole life story with everyone every day on my YouTube channel, because not everybody relates, and that's what I've learned about certain things you don't say on YouTube. Is not everybody relates, and not everybody's going to see it in your perspective.
The thing is, right? You know, people can relate to that kind of upbringing and that, and there's no way that that can't affect you the whole way through life. You know, and but we still haven't got around this other issue, this other main issue, the fundamental issue isn't being resolved with truths, because it's just there's just these excuses still. You see, we're still trying. He says earlier on, we're still trying to work it out. So we're still trying to work it out. Why not just say nothing instead of adding these excuses that you mixed up your words and they're part of somebody else's story, you know, and you made things up. Why continue with that argument? You see, you're not. He's not talking about us editing videos, because RV has already put a stop to that earlier on, because, you know, he was saying, you know, AI wasn't invented, so, you know, that is out. But, you know, he explained that Cecil's definition of editing videos was editing out the parts where he was just talking about fucking music and bands and concerts and stuff like that. It wasn't relevant to the main conversation of the whole thing. Now, Cecil had accused people of editing videos because people edited those parts out to make the video a little bit shorter. But the fundamental part of the video is still there. That, you see, there's many layers to him saying that we edit videos. The first part of it was, well, it's, you know, the video was such and such a length, and, you know, I talked about the bands and they were all edited out, so what's to stop you editing bits out and that? And then there was other excuses that the audio was completely turned around and made say things that he didn't say, not the video. The audio was. But, you know, me and others have put our case forward that can't happen, because there was a dog barking in the background, and, you know, working on 2 layers, you have to go through the background layer if you're going to alter the vocal layer. And that didn't happen because we went through a spectral analyzer, and there's no cuts because of the waveforms. The waveforms were completely natural, nothing happened, sort of thing. So there's multiple fucking layers to the we edit videos kind of thing. But he can't fucking stick to one fucking story, that's the problem. You know, Cecil can't say, well, when it says this, it didn't actually say this part here, right here at 21 minutes and 2 seconds, there's a cut there. No, he never went through the whole video and done that. He made an attempt to fucking talk about the confession video and bring it up, but he never played the whole fucking video either, like, so. This isn't going good at all.
You know? There was no penetration, there was no kissing, there was no touching, none.
Yeah, but there was sexual shit, which, you know, we were both doing sexual shit for years. That's what you said in one of the videos, so stop. That's the face of a man that says this is game over. It's done.
None of that in regards to me. They tried to touch me. I told on them. End of story.
No, you didn't.
I don't know why I said
no.
We did sexual, or they tried sexual. Or
I
whatever.
don't know why you
said
would
the word sexual.
I don't know why you would say it either, but you did, and then you backed it up with other videos. You see, so you're working off one video. You're working off the confession video. The other, when you're working off that one video, you keep forgetting that there's other videos where you said things that are contradicting what you're just fucking saying. Stop. Cecil forgets his own lies and then ends up contradicting himself, and then random news ends up pointing it out to him, and then Cecil gets pissed about it. That's why he doesn't like random news very much.
Miswording things.
Well, before you said that, you said before you said the word sexual, you said you guys were rebellious because of your upbringing.
As individuals, we all were rebellious back then. Not with each other. They were towards us and every other boy that came around. But when you're an abused little girl like that, you think that's what you have to do to get acceptance from boys, I guess. When you're uneducated, neglected, sexually abused, probably. I think I have an idea who sexually abused them. I just don't know for a fact, so I'm not throwing any names out there. But I believe he's their first cousin, and he went to jail for raping his stepdaughter, who already was ripped down there, and they had to take a piece of skin off her lip. It's so sad. Took a piece of skin off her lip and put it down there from her actual biological dad raping her. And he turns around and rapes her. And he winds up in prison. So that's...
What the fuck is wrong with this family? What the fucking hell? Do you know, like I said earlier on, you know, sometimes I take the piss because Cecil just fucking invites it and that. This isn't one of those fucking videos. This is fucking difficult. When you're trying to fucking analyse it and fucking break it down and shit like that. There's a lot of, there's so much stuff here. There's so much fucking shit here. It's fucking... There's a history. How many people at this moment, you know, so far in this video, have been abusers in this whole story? It's fucking crazy. That are family members. This is fucking... I'm speechless.
Their first cousin, he was around them for many years, so I'm thinking, is he the one? You know, but I don't want to throw stones without knowing where the rocks come from, you know?
Well, I don't want to take up your whole life. I'm sure somebody else wants to come up and talk or whatever, so I got to process what I'm hearing today. I don't know.
I got something to say. Yes, these little children can be child molesters. If one of my boys was doing something to a young girl and he was 16, 17, I don't care if he was 12, and he was touching a 5 or 6-year-old, I would turn my own child into the police and they would go to jail.
Yeah, but you're probably a really good parent and you care about your child and you make sure they're educated and they're not left in situations to where bad things can happen. You know? Y'all seem like good parents. Y'all care too much.
Somebody brought that point up before. You care too much. What does that actually mean? Or is that a slip of the tongue too? You care too much. Interesting. I don't know what way to take that.
Y'all care too much about me. I can only imagine how much you care about your kids.
You all care too much about me. So you do realise that, Cecil, that we do call you out, and I'm sorry that sometimes I do call you an idiot. I'm trying to make things better. But in you know, alongside sometimes taking the piss. Because let's face it, you stand in your kitchen, you fucking hurl abuse at us and that, and you know, you're inviting that. And I sort of take advantage of that. But besides all of that, sometimes I try to come up with solutions, and this is what you should have done. And I try to, you know, when I come up with, I'm trying to fucking help here, Cecil, for some fucking reason. In some ways, that is sort of caring. Fucking order of magnitude, and his wife sometimes comes up with fucking solutions to some of your issues as well. That's caring. So when you say that we're haters, I don't think you actually. Do you really mean that we're haters, Cecil? But then again, you don't watch our videos, so I don't know. But you should sometimes watch some of our videos, but sometimes we have very good advice for you. But the thing is, Cecil, at the end of the day, you still lied the whole way through this. You know? This is why RV Charity Drive ends up coming back in this video. In a completely different light, Cecil. Because you're fucking pulling the wool over his eyes. Trying to pull the wool over his eyes. Please, I'm sorry. But RV Charity Drive isn't stupid. So I think we're near the end of this now.
If you put that much time and energy into me, I can only imagine how much time and energy y'all put in your kids.
Well, I'm glad you fucking realised that we actually... You see, the thing is, Cecil, we don't want this going on for fucking ever. You seem to want us to keep going. We don't. Do I want you thrown in jail? No, I don't, actually. You've got a daughter, you've got a family. You know, it's not good for the daughter, etc. And I don't think, you know, going to prison is going to help in this situation. But to encourage you to take responsibility for the things you say and do would be my definition of resolving the situation and a great step forward. That's what I'm aiming for, but I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing any progress at all. And I've been doing these videos now for over a year, and I'm not seeing that. So, you know, yes, you've behaved reasonably towards RV in this fucking video now, but then you fucking go taking the piss out of him when he's not on camera talking to you. After that, it's gone back to the same old shit. So this is all a waste of fucking time.
Your kid would never be in that situation.
Yeah, but I think all kids know that it's right, what's right and wrong by the time they're 10, 11, 12. Even if their parents don't tell them, they learn it anyways.
I agree, and I knew the difference between right and wrong too, and that's why I went to the mom.
Yeah, but then, you know, I'm going to repeat the contradiction. Hell, their mum didn't care, so I might as well have fallen for the lust myself. Might as well fall for the lust myself. You said that in a different video than the confession video, so, and that was kind of backing up the confession video. This isn't working, so you know. You haven't even addressed that either, man. So, saying that.
But yes, my children have been taught from a very young age. From the time they were like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Right. I just want everyone to have the real story. I don't want any bullshit, rumors, and accusations. I just want y'all to know. Whether y'all like me or not, I don't care. I just want y'all to know the truth, man. That's it.
Like I
That's
said,
it.
I've always stand by this. I've never once proclaimed to hate you. I've just hated the stories.
I don't hate them either. Hate's a very strong word, but you know, Cecil labels us as haters. It's not actually true. I can be very angry with him. I can be disgusted by him, but hate, it's it's on a different level, to be honest with you. And at the end of the day, to wish a resolution to this in somebody taking responsibility, it's not hate, it's kind of love in a way, if you know what I mean. Maybe love's too strong a word, I don't know.
The history of it, because it's, I don't know.
It takes you back.
You've done it. It'll say you've done something if you haven't done it.
Definitely stop saying things you've done if you haven't done it.
I learned that real quick.
But why would you say that you've done these things and this happened when it didn't happen? It's not, no. I'm not, oh God, I'm not falling for that at all. Especially after going back and then, you know, repeatedly saying that we ended up, that we're the blame, that we edited the videos and you didn't say anything like that. And all the other excuses have done their cycle throughout the last year.
I learned that real quick.
That's going to be my first advice.
Yeah.
But I got to get going.
Alright.
So do I. I'm done. That first interview, at the start of the interview when I first watched it, I thought, this is a fucking historic, possibly is a historic moment. I had high hopes for this when Cecil was open to talking to people and letting people come on and talk, and I was going to even do it myself. But it was halfway through this fucking interview and I says, what's the point in going on and talking? Because he's just going to lie to me like he's lied to him, you know, to RV and that. I says, there's no fucking point. You know, halfway through or not even halfway through this interview, I says, this is done. It's the same shit. It hasn't changed. You know, so we don't have a resolution, and a year later we still don't. So I don't know where we're going from there, like. You know, but for Cecil to constantly blame us, and you know, at the end of the day, well, you know, we're standing up for all those people that have been abused online, and he hasn't taken responsibility for it or anything like that, and then putting out messages that is harmful to people on YouTube, the viewing public. You know, the attitudes, you know, the behaviour, all that kind of thing. It's harmful for some vulnerable people that are viewers on YouTube. And we've seen that happen with people like Michael Dunn. Do you know? And Michael Dunn went through a period where he was very distraught at what he discovered he was supporting. Because he believed Cecil and he didn't believe us. And somebody sat down and fucking explained it to him, and then he went, oh fuck. You know? So there's other fun. You know, when you think about people like Queen Tasty that has been supporting Cecil for years, she has to be some sort of a vulnerable person to believe everything that's coming out of Cecil's mouth without question. Without question. Never seen fucking Queen Tasty fucking question him or fucking, you know, or challenge him in some of his behaviours. Yes, and all the time she says we should, you know, just do you and you know, forget about this, and try to encourage him to stop talking about this, but has never challenged him, never seemed to publicly challenge him. So I don't know. It's still a very, very sad situation that this is fucking still going on, you know. And I'm still going to fight for victims. I know Cecil only fucking talks about the victims as the 8 and 10-year-old that we think that that's what we call victims, but there's been umpteen victims of online abuse. You know, and when I was attacked the first time, it affected me for about 6 months. I didn't go on camera very much. So, you know, people that are more vulnerable, I can understand and I can empathize with those that sometimes words do hurt. And Cecil has gone through lately a self-confidence issue with his teeth, and, you know, his teeth being messed up and that. My teeth are messed up, Cecil. I don't give a fuck. You know, I can go on my other channel and talk and not be... People know my teeth are fucked up. But what I have to say has got nothing to do with what I look like. You know? And the thing is, that was karma, because Cecil attacked me in that way to make me lose my confidence. And now Cecil, maybe some trolls are saying, you know, making fun of his teeth and that. And it's got to him and that. You know, sometimes I put thumbnails and I put a fucking clown nose on it, and it rattled him one time. So he is, you know what I mean, he's got that vulnerability in that, but he still is able to do that, attack other people with their appearance. He tends to go for the juggler, picking on people by their appearance and stuff like that. But it's affecting him lately, because he's not coming on camera. He done a short trying to get in touch with Jelly Roll because he's rich and he's a rich rap singer and that, to get money to fix his teeth and stuff like that, because he says he's the title of the video was Broken Man, Broken Teeth, Broken Dreams, Help Me Jelly Roll, whatever, Save Me Jelly Roll or whatever. So he has that vulnerability. You know, I'm not going to fucking niggle too much at it, but, you know, karma is a bit of a bitch, if you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, what I want is a resolution to this. And we're not going to get resolution by lying over and over the same thing. Because fucking people see through that shit. People have seen through this shit years ago. It's 1:20 in the morning. This has been a hard video. And I just need to fucking wind down and think about something else before I go to bed, because there's no way this is the last thing I want to do before I go to bed tonight, because this has been fucking tough. But anyway, I'll talk to you again possibly tomorrow. See you soon. Bye.